Peace to the family, peace to the family. All right. Okay, we're getting them likes popping. That's what's really good. I like that. What's good, family? Peace, peace, everybody. All right. Let's start doing this roll call. We ain't gonna do the intro music right now. We're gonna go right to the roll call. So as the family is filling into the building, let's start doing these shout outs. Let's start doing these roll calls. Let me know where everybody is from. All right. What's goody? Shout out to 217 in Illinois, Sacktown, Empress B444 VA by way of PA. Make sure y'all stay off of them coastlines. Uh, who's going too fast? Harlem, DMV, Charlotte in the building, Red House is in the building. You already. H-Town is in the building. 727 is in the building. Dallas, Texas is in the building. Oakland is in the building. San Diego, St. Petersburg, Ottawa's in the building. Louisiana, the Buddha's in the building. Nashville, Tennessee is in the building. Shout out to West Los Angeles is in the building. South Carolina's in the building. West Phoenix is in the building. Stand up. All right. Bless up to West Phoenix. Las Vegas is in the building. Let's see if I could do the Vegas. North Miami is in the building. Seattle was in the building. Alabama in the building. Columbia is in the building. What's that, Missouri? Shout out to Columbia. Anybody in the Bahamas? Talk black to me. I need to know. All right. King Ace Green, you all good, man. Don't even sweat that. You act like somebody asking you for some money. Montreal is in the building. Oregon is in the building. Peace and love. Okay, Quiptown. I never heard of that. Right outside of Pittsburgh. Salute to Quiptown. How y'all doing? Shout out to Quiptown. Quiptown. You dig? East Orange, Town in the building. Brat. Oh, U.S. Virgin Islands, Charlotte is in the building. Largo, Florida Bay. Yeah, you want a pair of these shades? Hit me on my inbox. You know we got everything. Harlem in the building. Charlotte is in the building. Chicago by way of Detroit is in the building. Shout out to y'all. I don't see Houston. Where's Texas at? I'm in Texas. Where's Texas at? I need y'all to pull up. Talk black to me. Toledo. All right, I see you. All right, Houston. You see Houston pulling up. H-Town was really good. Was really, really good. Oh, you said you talked to some people from the Bahamas? Atlanta, ATL in the building. Orlando, San Antonio, stand up. Was really good. I think I gave more shout outs for cities and states than people that are actually in here. Milwaukee in the building. Salute to Milwaukee. Peace and love to Milwaukee. OKC in the building. Louisville, Kentucky. Mad love to Louisville. They showed us a lot of love when we were out there about 2 years ago. Definitely salute to Louisville. Dayton, Ohio. Salute to Dayton, Ohio. That's Dave Chappelle. Ain't that Dave Chappelle hometown? Kansas City. Harlem in the building. What's good, Harlem? What's happening? Yonkers. All right. I, Yonkers is beautiful. We got love for Yonkers. You already. Yonkers, what's up? Charlotte is what's up. So many. It's always so many Charlotte people in the building. For all of my family in Charlotte, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Ottawa, Canada in the house, um, Savannah, all of the coastline. All I want to say is, keep your heads up. I hope that everything is a-okay. Hurricane Dorian is not going to affect anybody out there. So, just stay focused and stay vigilant. Stay dangerous, but, stay on point. Okay? Fresno in the building. What's happening, Fresno? What's happening, Fresno? So when we hit 100, we're going to start. All right, Alabama. Yeah. Pittsburgh. I'm not just praying for Bahamas. I'm trying to figure out what I could do to help. Orlando. There we go. Let's start. All right. Peace and love to the family. Peace to you and yours. Welcome to Third Eye Thursday, episode 35. You are now rocking with the best. Yes, this is your host for the evening, Brother Red Pill, reporting live and direct from the H-Town, Houston. I'm on the outskirts of Houston, but I ain't that far away. You know what I'm talking about? And I'm out here. My daughter's birthday was yesterday, September the 4th, which they call Beyonce Day out here, officially Beyonce Day in Houston. She was on the radio nonstop. And, she turned 6. So I'm out here. We got a party for her this weekend. So I will be in the building. I'm going to be at the Black Market tomorrow. That's at the Buffalo Museum. Black Market, First Fridays. I will be vending there. So if there's anybody in Houston, please pull up and come and represent. I'm going to be in the spill-off room, but I'll be at I believe it's the Buffalo Museum, Black Market, Houston. And if you know anything about the Black Market, then you know where it's at. So either pull it up on Instagram. They got their own Instagram page, BLK or BLCK Market. And that's where Kings County will be. We got some pieces, We don't got too much stuff. I want to sell out. You know what I mean? I want to sell out the good way. Let me not let you niggas take a soundbite of what I just said, but I want to sell out the positive way. And make sure y'all pull up and support what it is that we're doing. Okay? So yeah, that's what's up. North Alabama, salute. All right, never been to North Alabama. You was on 125th looking for me? Yeah, I'm out of town. I wish I was out there to link up with you, but I'm in Texas. I'm in the Lone Star State. Okay. So yeah. So there's a lot of things that we're gonna talk about this evening. Not too many things, but we gotta touch on some stuff going on. You know what I'm saying? And you was trying to buy some stuff on the site, and a lot of stuff was sold out. Yeah, we're gonna update the site maybe this weekend. We have the fall line. There's a new designs, and there's long sleeve, of course, hoodies. So fall is the fall line. We're gonna be rolling that out. So just look out for that. Shout out to Pleasantville, New Jersey. Let's see. What should we start with? What should we start with? Well, let's start with this whole NFL thing. As you guys may know or you may not know, the NFL kicked off their season tonight, and Meek Mill, Megan Trainor, and a few other people opened up. Okay. Oh yeah, we're gonna get to Malik Yoga. Don't worry about that. We're gonna touch on Malik Yoga in a minute. Don't worry about that. We gotta build up to get to Malik Yogurt. But there was a report that went out earlier this week when the NFL and Rock Nation announced, yes, we'll talk about Byron Allen as well. When Rock Nation and the NFL announced that they will be spending $400,000 with the Chicago non-for-profit charity organizations, right? So people in Chicago begin to get a little bit excited because Chicago, of course, is a place where there are many, many unemployed, at-risk black youth that might be alongside Baltimore and alongside, I would say, those no, those two, and according to statistics, would be two of the most dangerous places with gun violence for black youth. There's a lot of them. Don't let me single out, don't let me make it seem like those are the only two places. But just on the Labor Day weekend alone, I believe there were 56 shootings in Chicago. And when I talk to people from Chicago, the interesting part about the Chicago violence that leaves me scratching my head is that if you were to meet somebody from Chicago, they would tell you that the violence and the gunplay and a lot of the shootings are not taking place in greater Chicago. They will always point to the Wild Hundreds or to the South Side and to places where they say, nah, that's not really our hood. Now, when I hear stuff like that, I could understand what they mean because in New York City, people don't have the concept. If you haven't visited New York City or you don't know how the place is broken up, thank you, brother John Finity, with the Cash App. Cash App money sign PhilMoreland, PhilMoreland. Empress B444 is in the chat. That's my moderator. She'll be dropping the Cash App as well. So if people are not familiar with the demographics of New York, you may not realize that we're broken up into boroughs. There's 5 boroughs in New York. There's Brooklyn, there's the Bronx, there's Manhattan, in which Harlem is a part of. There's Queens, where, and then there's Staten Island, where Wu-Tang and all these people are from. Yeah, I know you so Brooklyn. So when people talk about, oh, New York is off the chain, you know, and I point and I say, well, back in the days, Brooklyn was really off the chain, but there's parts of Brooklyn that are more off the chain than other parts of Brooklyn. So we point to Brownsville, we point to East New York, we point to Bed-Stuy sometimes and say, well, the whole Brooklyn is not lit. It's just those parts. We point to Flatbush. So when people say, yo, it's not just Chicago, it's not Chicago that's crazy, it's that part. Automatically in my mind, I'm thinking like the boroughs, and I'm like, okay, so it's like how we would say Brownsville is lit. But when you add the numbers up about how many people is getting shot on a weekend basis, you would have to say, well, God damn it. If that's just a little part of Chicago, did everybody get shot in that fucking area? Because the numbers are so high. The numbers is thousands of people that get shot a year in this small area. So I'm like, well, God damn it, there must be a war going on. So make a long story short, when the announcement was made about the charity, $500,000, people began to get excited. Come to find out, there's an organization called the Crushers, okay? This organization apparently or allegedly was handpicked by Jay-Z and the representatives at Rock Nation to be one of the organizations out of many organizations in Chicago. I've heard of many different organizations who are out there trying to stop gang violence, trying to stop the shootings, and trying to be on the front line for our brothers and sisters who are getting clapped up, turned into vegetables, bodied and whatnot, closed caskets, Swiss cheese, getting shot with military grade AR-15s and all of that. Come to find out, this organization named Crushers is known for taking people in, right? Because in Chicago, a lot of people rock dreads. You know, the whole dreads thing is huge in Florida. The shit is huge in Chicago. Chief Keef and all of them, Shake Your Dreads, is huge in the Bay. It's huge in New Orleans. It's even huge out here in Texas where I'm at. Um, a lot of people look at dreads or locks. I don't like to call them dreadlocks because that's a derogatory statement. The proper terminology to call that is twists, locks, or that could be it. And we know that other groups of people look at our brothers and sisters with locks like, you know, case in point, on my timeline, at least twice a month, there's an article about a young black women specifically being sent home from their jobs, from college, from schools. There's been stories about young men that weren't able to graduate unless they cut their hair. You remember that incident with the wrestler where they cut the man's hair right on the floor. So we know that other people look at locks as a threat. They identify locks, or like when I was on the plane coming to Houston, and I got on the plane with the nappy fro, they was looking at me like I was uncouth. You know what I'm talking about? Like, you know, like something's wrong with me. Not realizing I'm just rocking my antennas and my non-ether freely. You know what I mean? Like I'm just letting it speak to the universe. You know, and that's something that everybody can't do. So of course people hate what they can't have. And locks are looked down by what people term greater society. Okay? So this organization named Crushers, they're on their Twitter page, what they've been known to do, and I'm not saying they do this with all of the people or all of the children from Chicago, but there was captions on at least 3 pictures that I read. This said the young men that they were bringing in wanted to start a new life. So one of the initiatives that the Crushers were taking upon themselves were to cut these men's locks off. You understand? Cut these men's hair off, make them bald headed, similar to like when you go into the armed forces and whatnot, or similar to when you go up north to do a bid. You know, they cut you bald. You know what I mean? And that's basically a way for you to start over so everybody looks the same, right? Exactly. So when I see things like that, I always harken back to the story of Samson. Okay? I always harken back to the story of Samson, of biblical lore, where Samson had power in his locks. When we look at the NFL, right? More than the NBA. When we look at the NFL, we see some of our brothers on the playing field, and they locked down. They got locks down their backs. A lot of those brothers have a lot of those brothers have beautiful locks. You know what I'm saying? And we know even in the NFL, that has been a problem with a lot of the owners. Antonio Brown is going through issues right now with the Raiders, not because of his hair, but because of his bold and brash blackness. We know that Marshawn Lynch was going through issues in the NFL when he had his locks, and he was not trying to be tamed, and he was not trying to be feminized, and he was not trying to be domesticated by the powers that be in the NFL, to the point where he took a whole season and basically had a silent protest where he wasn't even talking to them. He wasn't even talking. Remember they used to interview him? He was like, I'm only here because they making me sit here. I don't want to talk to y'all. I don't have anything to talk to y'all. And this wasn't even around the time of the Kaepernick protest. This was just Marshawn Lynch showing beast mode, letting people know, like, look, I'm not a $40 million slave that you could just control. You know what I'm saying? Richard Sherman of the Seattle Seahawks. Right? Remember, I think Marshawn Lynch was on the Seahawks at that time. Richard Sherman with his locks and all of the death threats that he was getting in right now. Right? So I'm only pointing that out to just share that the image, not just the hairstyle, but the image of the locks are a problem, and people who don't like them take pride and take joy in cutting them off. It's sort of, it turns people on to basically cut your locks off because they read the same Bible that you read. Okay? Samson having locks, right? It's not, Samson wasn't Thor's. They didn't shave his mane. They didn't say in the Bible they were shaving his mane off. They said in the Bible that they were shaving his locks off. The Mongolians don't grow locks. The Nordics don't grow locks. The only people that I know of in time in historical times who have hair that locks would be Nubian people with 9 ether hair. So Samson, in the story of Samson and Delilah, Samson was not a European. Samson was an African. So when people read that same Bible that we all have read and whatnot, they know inherently in their mind who the hell Samson is and who they're talking about. So fast forward to today in modern day times, anytime that I see any depiction of any of our people getting shaven, I'm like, yo, that's some Samson shit right there. They're allowing somebody to take their power from them. They're allowing someone to strip what it is that they have that they don't have from them by cutting their hair off. Okay? And that's not honorable. So this group, this organization called Crushers, not only do they advocate cutting the locks off of people who come into their organization, but this organization called Crushers is a big advocate for all lives matter. Okay? And I know that there's some people out there that like, what's wrong with all lives matter? All the problem with all lives matter that we take up that are a part of this movement is the fact that all lives matter was created as a rebuttal and as a buffer, okay, to what is known as Black Lives Matter. Even though I'm not in Black Lives Matter and I'm not a supporter of Black Lives Matter, you know, I don't really think that that hashtag was even needed. You don't have to tell anybody that your life matters. When you start running around telling people that your life matters, nigga, you already lost the war. Okay? You already lost the war. Nothing changed as a result of niggas wearing t-shirts and flooding my timeline with hashtags saying Black Lives Matter. But all lives matter leads into Blue Lives Matter. Thank you, LV 1975. The buffer of all lives matter was basically a rainbow bridge that they put out there to walk you over into the territory of Blue Lives Matter. And then Blue Lives Matter became a rallying call for the same people that were being protested against by Black Lives Matter, because Black Lives Matter was a protest against what? The people with the blue uniforms unjustly killing unarmed, specifically unarmed black men and women. Sandra Bland, Tamir Rice, okay, Alton Sterling, Eric Gardner, right? These were lives that were taken that did not have to be taken. Why do you say that, Red Pill? Because when you deal with extrajudicial force, or when you deal with police officers in their constitution that it says it gives them the right to utilize lethal force, none of these cases that we can point out led to any justification for the use of what is known as lethal force. Yes, Trayvon Martin as well. But if my memory serves me correct, Black Lives Matter, they got their birth, or they were basically birthed in the Mike Brown protest. And I have the paperwork, I have the receipts that show that George Soros was responsible for purchasing 48 hours of a news block. Okay, he purchased a 48-hour news block. He introduced you to Th3rd, who is the guy that wears the blue vest from Black Lives Matter, the LBGT dude with the blue vest. Th3rd, what is it? What's his last name? If anybody knows, I'll say it. And George Soros was the one who was responsible for pushing the organization into mainstream medium. Now, Darren Seals, rest in peace, who was a frontline he was a street dude. He told his story. I heard his story. McKesson, DeRay McKesson, Darren Seals, who's dead now, who was killed in St. Louis. He was a staunch opponent, or he was basically speaking against Black Lives Matter and their intentions, because what he said was, you could go and do the research so you don't just think that I'm out here, making things up. He said that the front line, the people who were basically the grassroots organizers of the Mike Brown situation, they were replaced by people who were not doing the same kind of work that they were doing in their grassroots frontline demonstrations, right? What he said was, these niggas came and started tweeting. They just was playing Twitter fingers all day. They were not confronting the police. They were not laying out the quote unquote steps that they required to basically bring about some kind of resolution. Okay, they were more so interested in capturing what is known as Twitter moments. That's the moment, that is the moment where you set up a professional photographer, okay, and then you do something like get arrested, sort of like what the civil rights leaders were doing. They were staging arrests. They were setting up photo ops, okay, and those photo ops were being broadcasted and plastered on newspapers and other places where the media is in bed with the same civil rights people, because all of these people are led by what is known as the white liberals. The white liberals would be a George Soros. The white liberals are the ones who are, most of the time they're small hats, right? And they're in control of media. They're in control of publicity. They're in control of PR. They're in control of, they know how to make a story. They even know how to make a leader out of making stories. So Black Lives Matter was basically an industry plant, and they utilized that tragic situation to jump board themselves into what is nowadays as mainstream media, and they became the progenitors of what is known as the woke movement. And now we see the woke movement in all of its glory, okay? The woke movement is what you're seeing when you turn on your TV today and Meek Mill is opening up the NFL with the fucking intro. Y'all ready? I used to rhyme like this. Times like, what the fuck does that got to do with social reform? I'm trying to figure that out. What does Megan Trainor have to do with social reform? Do you know who Megan Trainor is? I don't either. The only person I could see that even belongs on that stage would be Rhapsody. She's a conscious artist, and her album is called Eve. And all of the cuts on her album are highlighting and elevating and giving praise to the most important person in this whole conversation, and that would be the black woman. Yeah, we're going to talk about Nicki Minaj quitting rap today. Today's a holiday, if you want to talk about that. So, yeah, Darren Seals was definitely murdered. Darren Seals was murdered, but 5 other people that were inside of the Ferguson protests, they were also murdered as well. They were all there's a lot of people. There were people in Baltimore behind the Freddie Gray situation that have been murdered. These people you don't necessarily hear about because, like I said, when you have organizations like BLM, like Black Lives Matter, and all of their sister organizations, they take the spotlight. They are the ones who will come in and basically take over whatever your movement is. And then what do? They do the same thing that people are accusing Jay-Z and a lot of the diet woke social justice warriors is doing. They they position themselves for the payout. Okay? Even and then you get the family of the victim, they get the payout, and then the payout is an NDA, non-disclosure agreement. You can't protest anymore, you can't say anything anymore. Eric Gardner family, Eric Gardner family got paid out. um I think Mike Brown's family got paid out. Trayvon Martin's family got paid out. Damn near everyone in these cases have been paid by the same state. And I'm not talking about civil cases all the times. They giving up bags before the civil case comes. They just cutting checks like, look, we you know, here's the price of a life. Here's the price for the life that we took. There's a check attached to that shit. And then with with Black Lives Matter and some of these quote unquote non-for-profits that come in, or these people who come in attach themselves, like how Al was getting hush money. This is what Byron of the world, but more specifically, hopefully the Black American. Al Sharpton was being paid in chicken. Byron, it's not me saying this. Go on Google Byron Allen, Sharpton, and chicken. That's all you got to put in the search engine. Yeah, Walter Scott family got paid. Sandra fucked up what they did to my son, but we're hitting the Negro lottery because back in the days when in my hood, when you got beat up by a police officer, you knew that you got lumped up, but you knew that a check was coming behind that. When I was locked up, it was dudes that were trying to get beat up. They were trying to get beat up. You said that I'm glitching. Let me check the internet connection. Hold on. Is the visuals okay? Is the visuals all right? Let me know there. So what does that say to the people who are out there, right? It's lagging. All right, well, we just got to bear with each other. All right? It's going to be all right. So they're basically letting people know in a subtle way that even if we kill your loved one, you don't have too much to worry about because every single police department has a budget for payouts for shit like that. Okay? They'll beat your ass, they'll lump you up, they beat a nigga blind, beat his teeth out, and was like, don't worry about it, nigga. We got a check for you down the line. Just do the right, get the right lawyer and you'll get paid for this. Okay? So I saw with my own eyes back in the days, this niggas locked up instigating a beatdown because they wanted a check. They wanted they call it the nigga lottery. Okay? So the nigga lottery got the hood fucked up. Because people are not really looking for they will settle with an acquittal and a non-guilty verdict as long as they can get a few dollars. Okay? So Byron Allen said that Al Sharpton, and he said Al Sharpton. I say Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson and a slew of other people based off of the research that I've done over the years. They are known as professional shakedown artists. What is it that they do? They chase, they have links in the DOJ and other places where people who look like us, when their cases are headed to either the Supreme Court or when the cases get to what is known as the national, when they get national coverage and whatnot, these people, Benjamin Crump and a few others, they come in and they begin the shakedown process. They'll let the family know where the fucking money is at. And then they go and get the money. So let's say that Google, this was a perfect case, and you could research this about the Rainbow Coalition and Jesse Jackson and Google. Google was not hiring African Americans. Google had about 1% of African Americans in Google. When Messy Jesse heard about that, he wiped the dust off of his nose, cleaned the powder. All right, we gonna go shake down Google. You know what I'm talking about? And they went ahead and they ran down on Google, right? And they talked about diversity and all of this stuff. And what did Google do? Google cut that nigga a check and created this fake ass division for diversity training. Now it's 2% black people at Google. All right? Thumbs up. Good job, Jesse. And that is a perfect example of what is being done. Now, for the people who are diet woke or in the woke industry or the woke marketplace, some of these drug dealer rappers, right? Some of the rappers who are selling coke to our people and dope to our people and all of these other things and promoting black on black killings and paid, and getting niggas paid to get killed and whatnot, they figured it out. One of the people who taught them this, and would be the guy who you saw on Netflix called the Black Godfather. That was his job. That was Clarence Avant's job. His job was to tell, he's a handler. So his job is to tell black people in the industry when to speak, when not to speak, where the money is at, and basically who to do deals with. So if you get a deal, if you get proposition by the NFL, he's one of the people that you could call up, or he'll call you up and be like, yo, the NFL want to talk to you. You'd be like, for what? Nigga, they got a bag for you. Go and get it. Okay? That's his job. He's a handler. He's not the only one in the industry. There's multiple people like that. Okay? So Al Sharpton, his job before they gave him that job at MSNBC was a shakedown artist. Now he did so much shaking down, and he's a federal informant. So he was working with them boys from the gate. Okay? He was working with them boys from the gate. So he was already compromised. So after doing but so much shaking down, because after a while, you can't do you niggas figure out your game and whatnot. So they gave him a job at MSNBC, right? I think he made some money running for president, because that shit is big business. You get to wash a lot of bread like that, and you get to sit down with a lot of powerful people, and you get to broker a lot of deals and whatnot. You don't gotta win anything. That's the shit that Donald Trump was trying to explain to y'all. He was just going for the ride. He was like, this is how I'm gonna get business deals, and this is how I get to broker, more business for my hotels. He did not think he was gonna win. So this is what remember Al Sharpton was running for president. Then that nigga's a commentator at MSNBC with his own show. So they gave him his show, and they basically interjected him into politics by way of being a political correspondent and things of that nature. So he's comfortable and he's cool and he's sitting there. Now they're looking for new people to run the show. Okay? So this organization in Chicago, Crushers, they're All Lives Matter. They like to cut people's locks off. And then I have another tweet where they got these little black boys holding badges talking about they can't wait to arrest somebody, and they're training them how to grow up and be policemen. You know what I'm talking about? So Jay-Z, Meek Mill, who was about justice reform, right? Because he just, whatever it took to beat that case, right? Whatever it took to beat the case. Because in my humble opinion, and I'm not being judgmental and what nothing, but I need lyric reform before justice reform from these rappers. If you niggas is about that life, change your lyrics first. Because your lyrics are sending niggas to jail. Your lyrics are encouraging young black men with no fathers to go out there and sling birds and whatnot. Your lyrics is convincing people to take penitentiary chances so they could be in Balmain, they could be in Christian Dior, you know what I mean? They can have the chokers, the iced out chokers and shit like that. Let's not. This is not. This shit. This is not the reading rainbow over here. This is Third Eye Thursday. We're not acting retarded. Like we don't know what the fuck is going on. You know what I mean? Like you know, I'm not. I'm not an old head. The old heads on YouTube don't know what the fuck is going on, but we do. I need lyric reform before anything else. Then I might be like, and I like championships. I like Trauma, the song Trauma. I think that Meek Mill came home and he put out a beautiful street conscious album. I'm not taking no shots at what that man is doing with his music. But if that's the case, stay on that course, young man. Okay? Stay on that course. Don't fall off course and start talking about you flipping birds because, you know, the championship album was cool, but all that niggas guest verses is some nigga shit. Basically, he's not really trying to empower niggas with all of these lyrics. So you gotta be mindful about the power word, the power of the tongue. Now I've said on many occasions that I know lawyers, I know people who whip up sea moss. Not my brother. Not I ain't using blue. I know people who whip up sea moss. They whip up herbs. They selling hemp, and they listening to Jay-Z. And when he's talking about selling cocaine, they're just removing cocaine, and they're like, "Yo, I'm selling flat tummy tea. I'm a hustler, nigga. I'm in a I'm moving birds of that flat tummy tea. You know what I mean? I'm moving mad weight of the sea moss. You know, it's basically remove, edit the lyrics and put in your own lyric type shit. You know what I mean? It's like Build-A-Bear lyrics, But we shouldn't have to do that forever with Jay-Z's lyrics. At one point, let that nigga say the positive shit. You know what I mean? Like we're walking with you, Jay. But at some point, you should carry the fucking weight and just make your lyrics a little more positive in the light that what you want to walk out. Because if you did the intro to the NFL this season, what the fuck was you gonna rap about? Big pimping? Like what? Don't go through your catalog and embarrass us. You know what I mean? Cause that looks real crazy to the rest of the world who has some fucking sense, and they're like, "Yo, this is the best that you niggas have to offer. This is what y'all bring in the world." Because you're screaming justice reform. It ain't just Rock Nation with NFL and they sign, you could bring out the whole roster of Rock Nation and you niggas could just get busy and whatnot. You're going under the title of social justice reform. Do you know what that means? That means Mumia. That means motherfucking all of the political prisoners. That means that's Mumia Abu Jamal. That's Tupac's. That's Matulu and them. You feel me? Those are the political prisoners. These are Panthers. These are brothers and sisters who've been out here trying to do the damn work. It's not niggas that got locked up for selling bricks of cocaine. No offense to anybody that got jammed up like that. That's not social justice reform. Social justice reform, well, it is, brothers and sisters. Let me rewind that. It is the people who got the unjust sentencing by way of the Rockefeller drug laws, by way of the crime bill that Joe Biden and Bill Clinton and all of them were behind. Yes, it is that. Let me refrain from saying that it's not about the drug dealers, because it is about the drug dealers. But before the motherfucking drug dealers, it's still people who's locked up, who's underneath the jail for standing up for our people. What about them? What about the political prisoners? Are we going to forget them too? You know what I mean? Because nobody is mentioning their names. I listened to all of those press conferences and I read all of their transcripts. And I'm not saying that it's Jay-Z's job or it's Meek Mill's job. To me, one of the honorable things that you could do if you live that life and you're a part of that cloth and whatnot, free your niggas. If Meek is gonna free the hood, nigga, I'm with you. Free the hood. I ain't mad at that at all. That's who you care for. That is your lane. That's the people that you riding from. That's the niggas that you walk the yard with. Free them. Do everything in your power. Use your star power and free them men, right? But you can't bring in somebody from the hip hop industry who you know is riding for the political prisoners with you. You niggas is shutting these niggas out? You mean to tell me that you're not gonna bring in a Talib Kweli or one of these other conscious dudes? I don't know. I don't know who's out here caping for the political prisoners, but y'all can't contact that person and bring them in. Let them speak for the political prisoners because they have talking points. I don't think that the shit. I'm not ready. I'm not prepared, and I'm really not waiting for Jay-Z, Sean Carter to have Mumia talking points. I wouldn't put that weight on his shoulders. That's not what he's there for. He's there to free the hustlers. He's there to free the niggas that's jammed up that he could relate to. You got to understand that part. So his prison reform and the fact that he wants to get the weed connections thrown out. Yeah, David Banner. I would say a David Banner, maybe even Killer Mike. You know what I mean? I don't know what Killer Mike. You know, Killer Mike is on the Bernie train. You know what I'm saying? I saw Bernie Sanders in the airport. FYI, you know. I didn't want to take a picture with that nigga because I didn't want to get roasted. You niggas would be like, Red Pill is catching the burn and all of that. It wasn't that serious. You know what I mean? I dapped him up. I said, what's up, Bernie? You know what I mean? And that was it. But anyway, Jay-Z and them could bring in, yeah, I don't, is M1 and Dead Prez, are they advocating for the political prisoners? We have to be clear about who's advocating. Don't just bring up an artist whose album mentioned these names 20 years ago. Wow. What did they? Because we could follow everybody on the gram, and that's how Instagram been catching these niggas. You know, and that's not to say M1, shout out to M1, shout out to Stickman. I know Stickman is doing the fitness. I know M1 is doing his thing and whatnot, and he's doing great. He's doing his fatherhood thing. He's making music and he's touring and whatnot. But I don't know if these brothers are advocating and putting that shit on their shoulders. I really, to be honest with you, shout out to Immortal Technique. I don't know who the face of that is right now. Jay-Z has become the face of of all of this shit overnight. Okay, Yasin Bey. I think Mos Def can't even, he denounced his citizenship. He not even rocking with America too tough. You know? He's not even rocking with them too tough. So, you know, that would be my advice. But going back to this organization, this is a problem. This is another L in the long L's that this nigga Jay-Z is down with the NFLLLLL. You know what I mean? We might as well get the long L's on the hat because there's a lot of L's that are being taken these days. And I'm only reporting the news. Shout out to Hemp Late T. Shout out to Hollywood, Florida. Are y'all okay with the storm? Y'all all right? You know what I'm talking about? You need mine to send life jacket? You know? But y'all should be good. So they need some real, but to be honest with you, when y'all bring up conscious artists, when y'all bring up these conscious artists, shout out to Blue Pill in the building. Give me 5 names of conscious artists who've been getting busy in the last 5 years in social justice reform where they out there. Shout out to my son. My son been doing this thing. My son came home and got busy. Give me a name of the tree hugging, burlap, burlap hoodie wearing, you know what I'm saying, woke artists who are out here. I won't consider my son a woke artist like that. He started doing his social justice reform recently. He's a gangster rapper. Give me the name of the original, can we all get along rappers who were consistent, that you see on your social media being consistent every single other day, putting in work, putting out information, co-signing conscious teachers letting people know pray for Angola, pray for Bahamas. Who is it? Luther, like look how much that we're in the bizarro world. Somebody said Queen Yasanda. Is she a rapper? I'm talking about rappers, y'all. Y'all don't. This shit has become so unfiltered that y'all don't even know who a rapper is anymore. You know what I'm talking about? Chuck D puts out nice tweets. The Woo is not advocating. The Woo ain't out there like that. Okay? All right, I'm gonna go ahead. When y'all throw names out there, I'm gonna Osaka hit that shit right back to you. We could play oh, Professor Griff. Yeah, Professor Griff. That goes without saying. That goes without saying. J. Cole, maybe. That could be true. David Banner, I could definitely say that. Somebody said 21 Savage, Astaghfirullah, have a seat. What are you talking about? 21 Savage said, I'm not wearing jewelry no more and I'm teaching niggas how to spend their money. Now he's a fucking savior. I'm talking about real deep shit, like advocating for political prisoners, teaching the people, helping the people, not utilizing windows of opportunity. Most deaf. Okay. I can agree to that. Big Crit, I haven't seen his work. I haven't seen him working. Lord Jamal, I could say, yeah, Lord Jamal does his thing. I rock. That's the homie. B.O.B. I rock with B.O.B. Shout out to Panic. You know what I mean? Panic is about to come out with a remix. Satan Walks. The remix to Jesus Walks. Nasir Jones. Nah, haven't seen him doing too much. Can't say that. Black Thought. Okay. I don't know what Black Thought is doing, but he stays on point. I know Pete Rock has been doing some things. Pete Rock be tweeting a lot of stuff. Pete Rock be retweeting people. I don't see Kendrick working on social media. I know that his lyrics speak to a lot of social issues and whatnot. I don't necessarily see Kendrick's work. If you could point, damn, y'all all saying Lupe Fiasco. Okay, all right, that's one. That's one. Okay, we give Lupe some credit. Don't say T.I. on his timeline. Don't do that, because we'll have a shout out to T.I., but let's not do that. Willie D. You said Daylight. You said Roscos. I don't know what Roscos is doing. Cannabis. I don't think so. I don't know about cannabis.
This is a Houston day. You gotta tell about Houston.
Arsenal. Somebody said Uncle Luke. Uncle Luke. No, Uncle Luke is doing more work than a lot of these conscious MCs. Uncle Luke be going in. Uncle Luke be going in. You know what I'm saying? Waka Flocka? Really? Is Waka Flocka going in? Master P, I like Master P's. Ninth Wonder be going in. Rhapsody be going in. Danny Myers. RZA Islam is not an artist. He's not an MC, y'all. What's going on? Y'all pulling for straws or something. Or y'all Cambada. Why y'all keep saying Cambada? I said mainstream conscious artists from back in the days, from the 90s, from early 2000, the niggas you grew up watching on 106 in Park, those people that signed to a label, who is signed to a small hat, who's contracted to a major label. That's who I'm talking about. Who got Jewish people breathing over their shoulders. Akon. Yeah, definitely Akon. Ninth Wonder always been on one. You know what I mean? Twista been doing some things. Okay. Nick Cannon. Yeah, brother Nick. E40. I heard I seen some thing. Bun B. Okay. Nigga said Bow Wow. I'm done. Good night, fellas. All right. I'm gone. This nigga said Bow Wow. Professor Griff, yes, that's a given. You know what I mean? We do lectures with Professor Griff. What the blue pill say? 40 water. E fizzle. Definitely. 40 water. Immortal Technique, hands down. But Immortal Technique is not a major artist. He's not a signed artist. Immortal Technique came out conscious and stayed like that. You know? Nas is, he has a degree of consciousness. He might be the safest woke artist ever. You know what I mean? He toes that line real good. Um, you know, he to me would be more about financial consciousness. But the nigga don't talk about it. It's not like he's interjecting his financial consciousness into his lyrics like that. You know what I mean? He's not really telling you how to do it or what to do or the stocks, the tech stocks and whatnot. It's really like his Clark Kent life. And do never say Common. I don't, let's not even, and no offense to Common and whatnot, but, you know, I don't see Common working. You know? Shout out to Andre 3000. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But when you talk about a Nipsey Hustle and the work that Nipsey was doing and the quote unquote the blueprint that Nipsey left behind, who picked up his blueprint? Who is following his blueprint? Who is chasing the Nipsey blueprint? Talk black to me. Tell me who's doing that. Or even them niggas could have came together and formed a group and followed in Nipsey's footsteps. I heard Boozy Badass say, okay, my brother Blue Pill said I can't discredit the work Common has done for Chicago. So I would say that Common has done a lot of work for Chicago, for the youth in Chicago. You know what I'm saying? Um, you know, and you know, that would be my disclaimer. Slim Thug is doing a lot for his community. I would say that I've been hearing a lot of good things about Slim Thug. I've been hearing a lot of good things about Chameleonaire. You know what I'm talking about? I've been hearing a lot of good things about Chameleonaire. Nigga said Rollo. Somebody said Nipsey didn't own that building. He was using opportunity zones. Okay. I don't have a problem with that. Shit, you got to get it how you live. It's an opportunity. It's called opportunity zone. So he stood up to the opportunity. You know what I'm talking about? So Blue Pill said his political activism might not be your wave, but he is active in his own vein. So, and I agree with you, Blue Pill. I agree with you that even though some of these artists may be doing their activism the way that they see fit, and even it may not be as it may not be as hardcore, or it may not be in alignment with African centered, you know, consciousness and whatnot, that does not discredit what it is that they're doing. And I agree with that, right? So I come back and I throw out the Nipsey Hussle blueprint because a brother, a Boozy Badass, who's born on our birthday, me and Blue Pill's birthday, Boozy said that he wanted to be buried and he wanted to be commemorated and he wanted to be basically held up the same way that Nipsey was when he dies. And when I read that article and I saw the video, I was like, I don't think that Boozy is, he's not realizing, or he's not giving the credit to the work that Nipsey was doing that made him loved and made him revered and made him basically looked at the way that he did when he made transition by people who didn't even know him. One of the reasons why people were so drawn to him is because when they went ahead and looked into his story, or when they went ahead and heard about what he was doing for his community, they were like, wow, okay, that brother was doing a lot of stuff, And he wasn't even putting all of that shit on Front Street. He was putting on for his people, and we didn't even know. So this, what I would tell Boozy is, you got to put in the work for your people. You come from a place where there's a lot of poverty. You come from a place where there's a lot of issues and whatnot. But you also command a lot of minds and hearts of dope boys. You raised them up on the Ookaduba, my nigga. You raised up little pups, and now they full-grown dogs in the street out here selling dog food and eating niggas' food and whatnot. Boozy, you was there for that. You know what I'm talking about? Wipe me down. Talk black to me. So you could encourage a whole state. You could encourage a whole region. You got many places in the South on lock. All you gotta do is tell them where to spend their money righteously. All you gotta tell them is where to invest their money righteously, and that shit will go. It will go a long way. You are an influencer. So I don't really know if these MCs who are out here on the gram and whatnot with millions of followers realize the power of being an influencer. Nipsey was an influencer. What did he do? He utilized his influence on his Twitter page and on his Instagram page to influence millions of people, right? To do the right thing with their money. He spoke about vertical integration. He spoke about investing in the hood. He did not just speak about it. He was showing people how you can do it because he was actually doing it. So when people see things like that, you got gangbangers and whatnot, you got dope boys, you got trappers, you got swipers, scammers and whatnot. They like, yo, look at what Nip is doing. I rocks with him. I listen to his music. I watched his come up and whatnot. I'm going to follow his footsteps and do some shit for my people. That's all we're saying. That's the least that you could do in your hood or around the world. If you have a Twitter page, if you have an Instagram page, you are an influencer. Do you know the numbers? Do you know what they consider a micro influencer and a macro influencer? A micro influencer, I think, is 50,000 and under. That's considered a micro influencer, meaning that, nigga, you influence the micros. But a macro influencer, I believe, if I'm wrong, if anybody's in the chat, give me the correct number. But I believe it's 50,000 and up. It might be 100,000 and up. If you're 100,000 and up deep, you are considered a macro influencer. Do you know the power in that? I'm talking to my twerkers out there because y'all got a lot of followers. Do you know the power in that? Y'all could tweet out a book one day. Why don't y'all twerk while y'all reading or something? You know what I mean? And just turn around and show the cover of the book. That can help. Why don't you twerk with some booty shorts and it has like something deep on it so people, while they're watching the twerkage, they could get some shit downloaded in their brain. It's called giving the baby medicine through the food. We have to be innovative right now. We have issues in our community that our people are suffering at a very fast pace. We're in the quickening. So niggas are devolving at a quickly or a fast pace. The devolution will be digitized and televised. I was on 125th Street the other day, people watching. Me and my peoples. And you know, this is what we do because, you know, to get a sale on 125th Street, 500 people got to walk by you before one person stops. So you can't help but to people watch. So we out there people watching and looking at the traffic. It's almost like your Instagram scroll. You know how you have your timeline scroll? So when you standing out there, everybody is scrolling past. So it's almost like scrolling through your phone, but in real life. So I'm just looking at everybody. And I'm talking to my peoples, and they talking to me, and they like, yo, Red, people don't look the same anymore. And I'm like, word, bro. I thought it was just me. But the conditions, the physical conditions, not just the physical conditions, but the phenotypes. What is the phenotypes? The phenotype is the way niggas look. It's changed drastically over the years. And to be nice and to be politically correct, it's not getting better. Okay? It's not getting better. There's something in the food. It's not just in the food. There's something in the weed. There's something in the milk. There's something in the soda. There's something in the water. There's something in the air. You understand? There's something in the music that's terraforming the physicality of our people, to whereas our people physically are looking in a way and in a shape that they've never ever looked like in their life, even in chattel slavery. How do I know? Because they took pictures of niggas when they were slaves.
So focused on this bullshit.
They took pictures. They took pictures of the slaves. They took pictures of them. They had drawings of them. They did not look the way that what I'm seeing nowadays. And I'm not trying to be facetious. And I'm not trying to be judgmental. That you saw how I eased this shit in, you know what I mean? Very nicely. Okay? Very nicely. I'm trying to walk a very thin line with this. Okay? But there's something going on with, I saw it on a China bus and I didn't say nothing. Okay? A few times. But I'm seeing this in the streets and I'm saying to myself, and look, first generation Africans, right? The ones who were born here, who are now assimilated into what is known as hip hop or black culture. Okay? They don't look like their parents. Their parents look healthier. Their parents their parents have more of a glow than the children do. What is going on with what's not just this generation, what's going on with our people, what's happening to them? So what I'm saying is that the quickening, whatever's going on to our people in a negative sense, is happening in a very fast pace. It's quickening, and our people are not looking good to such a place that if something were to happen tragically, like a recession or the crashing of the dollar, or some kind of war broke out, niggas are in trouble, bro. There's the physicality of our people. We are not in shape. We don't. I see so many walkers. I see so many scooters. I see so many dialysis machines, and this is not something that you could basically, it's not our people that are doing this. This is big business. If you understand what was going on with the big pharmacy, with big business, they are the ones who begin to put our people on those machines. They are the ones who got our people looking crazy in these streets. It's not our people that you could blame all of the time. Okay? It's not them. It's these people. They had all of these dialysis centers in the hood. They got all of these people. You go to the doctor. They're oh, you got high blood pressure. Oh, you got diabetes. Here, we're gonna put you on a walker, or we're gonna put you on a scooter, and all of this crazy shit. So all I'm saying is, when we have influencers, I want to I want to give credit to the influencers who've been doing things like flat tummy tea. You know, there's influencers out here pushing CMOS. There's influencers out here that are pushing the Sabi diet. There are influencers out here that are pushing the vegan diets. There are influencers out here that are speaking about the dangers of the GMO weed and stuff like that. All I'm saying is, for the micro and the macro influencers, we need everybody to begin to get on more of a code. I'm not the internet police. I'm not going to tell nobody that they can't twerk. I ain't going to tell no woman that they can't wear Fashion Nova. I'm not here to tell nobody
Don't let me
what
talk
to
all that.
do.
Don't
I'm
introduce.
I'm not gonna tell nobody what it is that they could do with their selves or with their likeness on the internet. You know what I'm talking about? And but what I can say and what I feel comfortable saying is that with all that being said, there's still some kind of responsibility. There's still some kind of social responsibility that each one of us should begin to take. Picking up the mantle. Nobody's asking you to save anyone. Nobody's asking you to put a cape on. Nobody's asking you to be the Mahdi or the goddamn Messiah and whatnot. All we're saying is there are small things that we could begin to do because collectively, I feel that we should be responsible for helping our people to get themselves in a better place than where they are right now. That is, if we give a fuck. Because even if I was a knuckle dragger, I would not feel comfortable walking around in all of the carnage that I see surrounding me. Like you don't gotta be fully awake to see what's going on with our people. You do not have to be. Yes, somebody just said it's also a lot of zoned out black men on 125th Street. Family. I'm gonna, when I get back to New York City, I'm gonna take my camera and I'm gonna go live on 125th. I'm gonna walk through that shit front and back and show you the mental health deterioration of our black men and women in Harlem. It's not just K2 and it's not just heroin. They got on Lexington, all of the heroin people are all on the corner leaning, nodding, nose is touching the concrete, looking super crazy. On Lenox, you got the methadone people leaning and nodding. Then on Park, you got the K2 people. Then on Lexington, they got the mental health because Ward's Island is right there. So all of the people who are basically talking to themselves with no Bluetooth, they out there looking crazy. Yo, it's a tragedy. It's tragic. And then who's in between all of them? Becky, Jon Snow. You know what I mean? They out here jogging with their poodles and whatnot around all of the carnage while our people are looking crazy. The niggas in the scooters is keeping up with the white people jogging through Harlem. They got dudes talking to themselves, haven't taken baths in weeks. There are brothers who are in the conscious community, who are out here trying to better themselves, who are out here trying to better them lives. There's some of them who have went off of the deep end and now they are either homeless or they have mental health issues. It's becoming an epidemic. Yeah, I saw it in Newark when I went. I saw it in Philadelphia a little bit when I went. So my question before I judge anybody, because at this point it's not even judgment. I'm just reporting these quote unquote black news to you. At this point, my question is, how is this shit? Where is it coming from? Is it the food? Is it the weed? Is it the K2? What is it, the Impossible Burger? What's going on that our people are flipping out of their minds? Okay? People walking up asking, oh, in Atlanta, oh, my bad, Blue. But I used to work by Vine Street. So I used to see the homeless. They had the homeless shelter on Vine Street like in 2012 where this shit looked like a scene from The Walking Dead. Coincidentally, they filmed The Walking Dead and Fear of the Walking Dead in Georgia, right outside of Atlanta. So when they got all of these zombie movies and all of this zombie stuff where they encourage people to shoot them right in their heads, and that the zombies are basically, you know, the zombies are to be targeted. The zombies are to be shot down. In all of the zombie movies, World War Z, Fear of the Walking Dead, Night of Living, all of that shit, what do you see them do to the zombies? The zombies are basically targets. The zombies are basically targets. They encourage people to just kill the zombies. So when you live in a city full of zombies, subconsciously, what is that saying to people who are basically looking at these people as not just eyesores, but they feel threatened in their presence. Like these motherfuckers look like they want to eat your brain. When I'm on a train and some of them homeless people or the zombies come through smelling like carcasses, you be like, yo, what are we gonna do with these brothers? What's the solution? So, you know, something needs to be done. Something needs to be done. You know, you know, something definitely needs to be done. I'm a proponent to, you know, I feel that a lot of these brothers and sisters can have their lives turned around in a positive way. On many shows, many moons ago, we laid out a three-step program to taking homeless people off of the streets and basically putting them into what is known as not a labor camp, but you know, in a laborist a situation where their labor can produce results and they could be basically healed by way of healthy foods, clean water, and taking them outside of an environment. There are warehouses that we can retrofit with cots and other things where these brothers and sisters can wash themselves up, clean themselves. Maybe we could get them some gold drops. Shout out to Blue. Talk black to me. You know what I mean? And we could take these people and clean them up and basically give them simple gigs, like, you know, the gig economy, like Fiverr, like places, you know, there are people getting paid around the world by fulfilling gigs, doing simple shit like making flyers, doing simple things like designing websites, simple things, physical labor. Many of us who own clothing lines, we need people to press the decals or the designs on clothes. We need people to work the silk screen machines. We need people to weed the quote unquote vinyl. That means to tear the vinyl off of the other pieces of paper. We need manual labor. There are some of us who have products like shea butter. You need somebody to whip the shea butter. You need people to package your stuff. You need people to ship your stuff. The same way that they could fill up those warehouses with Amazon, where they have people basically fulfilling orders. They call fulfillment centers. So we could build what are known, go and Google fulfillment centers. We could create fulfillment centers specifically in the Midwest and specifically in the South, because you can buy a warehouse for way less than they're going to charge you in places like Jersey and New York and in California and places. That's where the shit is through the roof. But in the Carolinas, in Detroit, in places like Jacksonville, by my brother Diallo Sekou, he lived next to an empty warehouse. We can have a manufacturing warehouse. We can have many places that we could build and make fulfillment centers. Do you mean to tell me that you can't take a brother off of the streets and put him into a 72-hour detox? Basically, what do they, when you get locked up, they put you in quarantine. They quarantine you, right? When you get locked up, they put you in quarantine. That's a 72-hour basically lockdown where they take you, you're not in general population. You're not, they don't allow you to have contact with anybody on the outside world. So what do? They give you an orientation about the rules, right? They give you all of your shots and the medical. They check out your medical to see if you got tuberculosis, to see if you got any kind of airborne diseases and whatnot. And then they release you into general population. So a 72-hour orientation, if somebody is going through heroin addiction, they have natural remedies to take people off of heroin. I'm not gonna say it on the YouTube because it's not FDA approved. Okay, so you could take them. You could go as far as to take somebody out of cold turkey. So if a nigga got a crack habit, that's not a problem. Niggas don't go cold turkey on crack. They go cold turkey on heroin and other harder drugs. So you could solve that problem. You could cut their hair. You know what I mean? We not like that organization where they cutting people's dreads off, but you could wash their hair, right, with some Castile soap and whatnot. Clean them up. You know what I mean? Get them smelling good, shea butter them down, right? You know, groom them, give them some vegan organic food. You're not gonna take you off the street and feed you chitlins or goddamn ribs and whatnot or Popeye's chicken. Okay, we're gonna not even Impossible Burgers. Give you some quinoa and some sea moss. You know what I mean? And you might get some black rice.
Dr.
You know what
Sadie.
I'm saying?
I thought,
You know, you get some tofu turkey.
nope.
You know, and these are some of the things that we can do to bring our brothers and sisters back to life. Somebody said they need to be pressure washed. If that's what it takes, if you got some people with that caked on shit, then you pressure wash them. You know what I'm saying? Then you pressure wash them. And we can give them an orientation where we share with them what it is that we can assess them for their skills, because the same way that you got crackheads out there that are like NASA engineers, many of our brothers and sisters walking through those trains, shaking cups on Skid Row, living in tents, and basically out here begging. These people are skilled laborers. If people are coming from across the border, and if people are coming from shanty towns, no disrespect to anybody coming out of shanty towns and whatnot, but people are coming from shanty towns, people are coming from across the border and whatnot, and they're coming into America as laborers. They out here tilling the soil in agriculture. They're out here learning how to be carpenters, and they're painting. I'm talking about the Mexicans and the Ecuadorians and all that. I worked with them when I was in construction. Nigga, they get busy with a capital B. There's some good sea moss. They get busy. So we can begin to assess. There are ways now that you can assess the skill set of anybody who is trying to work for you. There's ways to do it digitally, and there's ways that you can do it physically. And then we begin to determine what level of this person is capable of doing. Okay? So we could be retroactive. We could pull up in quote unquote school buses and fill school buses up. We could pull up in dollar vans. We could pull up in charter buses, China buses, and fill them up. Of course, you got to keep the air conditioner on blast with a little bit of Febreze and whatnot, because you know that shit is going to be funkadelic. You know what I'm talking about? And we could drive them outside of New York City into upstate New York, where the Europeans who are gentrifying New York have abandoned. Anywhere, Blue Pill will tell you, anywhere outside of the big cities is mad open land, mad empty real estate, because all of the Europeans are abandoning they're abandoning rural towns, right? They're abandoning the outskirts, and they're moving in to the metropolis. We don't need to be in the metropolis because the game is digital. It's an internet-based game. It's click and order. It's not brick and mortar. So you don't gotta be in a city to make money anymore. The money is on the internet. So where location determined your pay scale or your pay rate, that's not the facts. That is not the quote unquote business model anymore. The business model is you niggas need to move to a farm somewhere. You need to move to a warehouse. You need to move to a loft outside of the quote unquote barracks. The inner city, nigga, that's Hunger Games at this point. That's Hunger Games. You don't need that. You should be focusing on how can I take my team, if it's 5 of us, if it's 10 of us, how can we go to a quiet town and tie it down? I mentioned before, shout out to my brother Nasir. No, Nazi, Nasi. He's a Hebrew Israelite. He and his Hebrew Israelites moved into a town called Sparta in Georgia. This town has under 500 people in the town. He moved his Hebrew Israelite uh, congregation, and they took over the town. He's running for mayor for 2020. Talk black to me. Remember Nazi from the debate back in the days? You remember him? I think he beat Seti in the debate. That brother is running for mayor in Sparta, Georgia, which is majority melanated. The whole town, the majority of the town is melanated, but he told me that the mentality of the residents of the town is back is still in antebellum slavery type. Like they still scared of white folk. So we could move into small towns and turn them into townships and we could get political power in those towns. Okay? And I'm speaking to my brother Pop Darby. Pop Darby is in Houston and he's running for city council in Houston. He's running for city council. He's running for office, and his eyes are being opened up to the power of politics. I'm going to have him on this channel before I leave. I'm going to do an interview with Pop Darby because Pop Darby has a lot of information that he wants to share with the family because he just started racing for his seat and he's already been exposed to a plethora of interesting things that are attached to politics. Yeah, Willie D. He's going against Willie D. I'm sorry to say, he's going against Willie D for District 8. What is it? District B? The 3rd Ward? Yeah, Pop Darby is running against Willie D. May the best man win. And that's one of my shifters, so I'm running with Pop Darby. If you have land in Texas, can you please contact me? I don't want to speak about all my business on the internet, but we are looking for land. We are looking for land. Yes, Willie D does have that name recognition, but if you're not in Houston, you don't understand that Pop Darby got that name as well. Okay? Scarface is running for office. But my question is, what has Scarface done before he started running for office? You just can't hop out and be like, I want to be in office. What's your track record? Does the community know you for community work before you started jumping into politics? Because politics is a way for niggas to get rich. You know what I'm talking about? Politics is a way for politics is a way for you to get connections into the business world. So everybody that's running for political office isn't necessarily trying to save their people. To be honest with you, only about 5% of the politicians is really interested in helping you niggas. The majority of them is trying to get to the bag, the political bag. Real estate, small business. I mean, I could go on for days how much money is in politics. It's a racket. You understand? It's a racket. So we can begin to do things that are going to basically turn around the tides to the deterioration and the onslaught and the downfall because of the cutting and all of these all of these social programs. You see what Trump is doing. He's gutting out all of the social programs. He's gutting out all of the funding and whatnot in favor of military spending and in favor of the wall and in favor of everything that has nothing to do with what it is that we are trying to do. So we live in a society now where they're legalizing marijuana, where they're legalizing hemp, where they're legalizing a lot of other things. We live in a society now where there's an internet, there's a digital boom, there's a tech boom. Go and read the article about the Hasidic community in Borough Park, New York City, who they are responsible for 7% of the overall sales on Amazon. Do you know how much money that is? I don't understand. I don't think you realize what 7% of the annual sales of Amazon is. Go and do the math on that. But there's a Hasidic community in Brooklyn, the curly head Hasidics, all black, the ones that wear the hat, the all black hat, and with the box on it, and they worship Saturn. All right, they're deep into the Kabbalah. They are magicians, and they happen to be the landlords of the whole New York City or Jew York City. That's them. They tapped in to the Amazon drop shipping, the Amazon, the whole Amazon wave, right? And they're making millions upon millions of dollars by tapping in to that new wave that's going on right now. I'm letting you know that there are all kind of rushes. There are all kind of there's multiple opportunities to basically get yourself in alignment with this. Blue Pill put an article up that said that there's 1,500 millionaires made every day in the USA. 1,500 millionaires a day are being made in America alone. L'chaim, my niggas, l'chaim. Break a glass and celebrate. Okay? So, hemp, CBD, marijuana. I could go on for days. There are so many waves that are rolling out. If you have land, I am encouraging you to contact me. We can help change your life. Cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, altcoins. There's waves going on right now. I don't think you realize this shit. We don't have no time for complaining. We don't have no time for why me, the pity parties. I know nobody's trying to pull up to your pity party. Okay? Niggas is not responding to your invites. So there's a lot of real estate booming. Real estate buying out cities and towns booming. Okay, and the recession is coming. So those who have bread, they can't wait for the recession. The recession is like a fucking closing out sale. You know what I'm talking about? The recession is a closing out sale. And what Trump and a lot of his cohorts are doing is they are manufacturing this recession. So real estate and everything is going to be grabbed up while the poor are going to get poorer. Okay? While the poor are going to remain poor. So the idea is to come together consciously, not reactionary, not when somebody takes your lunch money and you want to react because you're on defense. Nobody wants to play with you on defense. You niggas are not defensive players. You gotta strike first. You gotta bomb first. You gotta be on offense. And we're not looking for people that's on defense. We're not gonna react to the reactionaries. We're gonna get this shit popping right now. So what we're doing, like I said, what we're forming and what we're building behind the scenes and in front of the cameras is an organized organization of brothers and sisters, individuals, small business owners, investors, politicians, okay? And people who are serious about making some motherfucking move. We can have fun like this on the internet and drop information and, and wig out and whatnot. That's cute. But that's, as you see, that's only a few hours on a Monday and Thursdays. After that, it's all business. After that, if it's not family, okay? If it's not handling business, it's dealing with preparing for the future, y'all. That's very important. That is extremely important. Facts2020.org. Okay? I need your emails. Facts2020.org. I need your emails more than I need anything from you. I don't ask anybody for nothing. Fuck giving me a like. The like ain't gonna do much right now. I need your email. Okay? I need your email because your email is how we'll be able to stay in touch forever. Okay? You're going to lose that Obama phone. The number might change, but you're going to have your email forever. As long as you get your new phone, you hook that shit up to where you get a notification, we could communicate. I could send you information. I could keep you abreast to what's going on. Everything that we doing, we can't say it on the live. You understand that? I'm sure you get it at this point. I spent hours upon hours explaining about the surveillance programs, explaining about how these people are lining up people to how explaining how anything that I upload on Facebook or Instagram belongs to Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. So I'm not really comfortable about putting out all of this intellectual property on these platforms because the biggest commodity, right? And I could show you the articles. The biggest commodity going on right now is data. That is the most precious commodity on the planet right now. It's called data. It's called data. It's not oil, it's not gold, it's data. Right? So you got to be careful with spreading. No, don't leave your email in the chat, please. Don't leave the email in the chat. You know what I'm talking about? Don't do that to yourself. You know, there's trolls out here that are religiously trolling. Leave it on the landing page, facts2020.org or ktluniversity.com. Okay? That's how you pull up facts2020.org, O-R-G, or on ktluniversity.com. Or you could slide in my DM on the IG and leave me your email. That's the way that we communicate. I don't want you to put your business in the chat room. There's 700 people on the live right now. You don't need to be putting your information out there. Okay? There's a whole bunch of people signing up right now, and I appreciate y'all. Okay? So we want to bring the solutions to the family in real time. Like I said, that the only thing, the thing that we don't have is time. We don't have time to waste. The 2020, this year is almost over. How crazy is that? Summer's over. You know what I mean? Like I said, Meg the Stallion, Greg the Stallion, all you niggas that had hot boy, hot girl summers, yeah, it's done. It's over. You need to retire with Nicki Minaj. It's a wrap. It's a finito. It's finished. Okay? You know? And next thing you're going to know, it's going to be holiday season. Thank you, everybody that's signing up. I hope y'all crash the site because y'all signing up at a feverish pace. And I like that. You know what I'm saying? And I like that. You know? And we will be sending you information, and we will be sending you a lot more of the follow-ups to the Facts 2020 movement, so we could be on point and we could be on code and we could understand and understand what it is that we're going to be doing collectively, because FACTS is an acronym for food, art, clothing, technology, and shelter. This is a network of businesses, owners, and brothers and sisters who have resources, who are coming together to do the work that needs to be done. Okay? So salute to everybody who is a part of our network and a part of this platform and a part of the marketplace. And we are going to be doing, you know, just going to be doing some big things. Okay? So the solutions are out there. Our brothers and sisters who are wandering aimlessly in these streets, especially our sisters with these children in these shelters and whatnot, especially our brothers who are coming home with no jobs, no opportunities. Nobody is looking out for them. Some of them have no shelter, especially for my brothers and sisters with these substance abuse problems and whatnot, who are suffering because they are addicted to substances based off of decisions that they've made. I have a friend, and I don't like talking about this because I'm still hurt. You know, this shit tore me up from the inside out. But I have a friend, somebody who I considered one of my day ones. Somebody who I basically would go to, you know, me and him will go to bat for each other. And the brother saved me when I was in a situation in Atlanta in 2011 and whatnot. The brother opened up his house for me. And I saw this brother in Atlanta the last time I was visiting, and the brother has a substance abuse problem. Okay? The motherfucking streets done got him. That Molly and all of that shit, those gateway drugs, led to something harder. And he got a monkey on his back. And to see that, this is a brother that I looked up to. And to see that consuming and killing him in real time is killing me. So this shit is personal at this point. You understand? This is personal. This is somebody that we did everything together. So this is personal. So I'm not just saying this shit just to say it. Like, I really want to help the brothers and sisters who can't help themselves at this point, because I know at the core who they are. Because if that shit can happen to that brother, then the brothers and sisters that I'm seeing is going through this shit, I can imagine how strong. Because, you know, you train to look down on people that's suffering, be like, oh, they was corny, or they made the wrong choice, F them, or, you know, they're weak and whatnot. All of these negative connotations that we give to people who are going through something. But when we see somebody who we know that this person fell from Mount Everest, this dude was driving a Lamborghini a few years ago. You understand? That nigga was hopping out of foreigns. So to see what he's going through, I'm like, nah, I can't. I just can't. I can't turn my back, and I can't forget, and I can't just write off my brothers, bro. It's not right. Because I wouldn't want him to do that to me. You understand? I wouldn't want him to do that to me. And he, you know, he was there for me, and he didn't have to be. So we can produce solutions. If I was to pull up on that brother right now and say, yo, I want you to get off of these drugs, I don't have nowhere to take him. I'm not taking him to my mama house. I don't have nowhere to get. He's out here cleaning restaurants and floors. I don't know what to say, yo, don't do that, do this. So we're going to have to hurry up and come up with some solutions to say, look, I got food for you. I got 3 hots in a cot. I'm going to wash you up. I got something. I got shower for you. I don't need you in these streets no more. I don't need you basically being diminishing everything about your character. You know what I'm saying? I don't need that. Here's the solution. I'm definitely going to take them to the toad. You already know. If I had the toad on me, I would have lined them up and put them on that toad. I would have had them, on that boo food. But he need that iboga at this point. He needs that iboga. So the land, it starts with the land. And from the land, we could do anything. From the land, we could do anything. Somebody said take him to the YMCA. I'm definitely going to grab him. Y'all already know that. I'm going to grab him. I'm going to do it. You know what I mean? I'm not going to let him die in Atlanta. It's serious. It's serious. So, the shit hurts, yo. It really does. Because he has so much that he could contribute to whatever it is that I'm doing. Oh, the YMCA, you could wash there for free? Okay. All right. And from the land, we could do a lot. We could do a lot. We could put, you could put a 10 by 10 tent on the land. You feel me? You could sleep in a car on the land if need be. Like, you know, but these are the things that we're going to be focusing on, building up our brothers and sisters who need to be built up, who are capable of healing, who are capable of rehabilitation, who are capable of getting back on the right track, because so many people who are quote unquote conscious these days, they came from dark places. They were, people turned their backs on them. They were the black sheep of the family. They were homeless. They were in jail. They were facing life. You understand? They were flirting with death, and they turned around. Somehow, some way, they heard Bobby Hemmitt's voice. Y'all okay? You know what I mean? They heard Phil Valentine. They heard somebody, a Delbert Blair's murmuring. They heard Sarah Sutton-Setty's call to action. They heard a Umar Johnson. They heard a Red and Blue. They heard a Professor Griff. They heard a Queen of Four. They heard a, you name it. And I'm naming all of these people unbiasedly because though there's so many teachers who are responsible for waking people up. And I'm not arrogant nor egotistical to where it is I could just say, yo, these people, I know people personally who told me the names. They gave me the names of the people who they say, these people saved my life. Regardless if the people like them or not, or if they think that these people have done enough in the community. I know people who are powerful people now who said, look, this person changed my life. Now, why is my screen frozen? Could somebody tell me? And I'm just getting started. Why is my screen frozen? I don't know. You see, I'm frozen. No Disney. Can you still hear me? That's an unsavory picture, so I don't even know if I could go on further. You know what I mean? I don't know if I could go on any further. Look at me. I'm looking like the toad. You know? This is a trick. This is something that YouTube likes to do. Yeah, I'm talking about. I don't know why. We're not even being controversial right now. We're just speaking on proper solutions. No, I'm going to talk about Malik Yogurt, and you need to see my face when I'm talking about him. I'm going to talk about Nicki Minaj. You got to see my face. Like, I don't know if we could do it like this. This is not right. This is not right. No, the picture's very unsavory. You know, my ego is fighting me right now. I don't know if I could do this. You know. But anyway, but anyway, so I'm just letting it be known that I'm not, I have plans. We have plans in the future for helping the foot soldiers that are out there, the less fortunate that are out there, the quote unquote zombies that are out there. They have the ability to get back on track. Nobody's have to be perfect. Nobody has to be quote unquote super conscious. That's not the name of this game. The name of this game is every single hand on deck is needed to basically do the work. This is not forever. Okay? Look, I refreshed my camera and that's what it did. So, you know, so yeah, that's what it is. And we'll go ahead and we'll do more follow-ups on what it is that we were talking about in regards to the working with the people who are homeless. Okay, so we're gonna move on to another story. All right, now that I'm in frozen state. Okay, maybe I could drop enough heat so I could melt the frozen screen, but right now they got your boy on his hand solo. Okay, I'm on hand solo. All right, and it's all good. Okay, so in further news, Malik Yogurt is on social media and other places saying in 2019 that he, a black man, right, loves women. And he says that as a black man, he loves so many women that he doesn't care if that woman has a male part when it comes down to it. And Malik Yogurt says that not only is loving a woman who is a transsexual sexy, but he said that's not considered gay and that women understand him. So, in the case of Malik Yogurt versus the state of YouTube, I want to know, ladies and ladies only, in the jury, do we find this nigga guilty or not? All who says guilty, press 1, please. We're going to have the foreman read the verdict. And the foreman is reading 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Let's see if we have a hung jury. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. 1. New York Undercover versus YouTube. And the verdict is that nigga right there is guilty of being a flamer. And he needs to just come out the closet. Okay, I know R. Kelly is in solitary confinement and he can't necessarily, get the keys to the closet. So Malik might be stuck. But we're going to go ahead and open up that door so he could come on out. Come on out, Malik. Because right now, you're guilty of some real suspect shit, my bro. Okay? Never in a lifetime of any man ever did a nigga say that loving a tranny was regular and you're not gay. How does that happen? Talk black to me, because I know in the act of intercourse, there's something called a yoni that you have to enter into that course. That yoni, right? The Dr. Ben called the gateway to heaven is not the gateway to hell. Okay? Because the gateway to hell is it's another entrance that people like to go inside of, but that's not where life is created. Okay? And Malik Yogurt thinks, and he's trying to convince impressionable human beings out there who are fans of his that this is some regular shit. And I'm saying, in the case of some, of insanity, this nigga needs to get his brain checked. Apparently, he was dropped a few times as a little child. Okay. And we're not necessarily, we're just stating the facts that that's some crazy shit right there. How dare he was on the show with Claudia Jordan. I lie to you not. I shit you not. He was on a talk show and this nigga was wild confident in what he was saying. Like, this is not insanity, exemplified. He was on a talk show with Claudia Jordan. He said, and I quote, Claudia, I'm attracted to all women, even women who are trans. That doesn't make me gay because I love women. No, my nigga, that makes you bisexual. There's a category for that. You didn't watch the Dave Chappelle special? You sit in the back of the car, little nigga. Like, you're part of the alphabets. You're not heterosexual anymore, okay? Like, last time I checked, there's a designation for people who don't want to get on the bus. Nigga, you got to get in the car, okay? And in the car, the like he said, the G is riding the car. That's the G from the LBG. It's usually a white man, okay? He's riding the car because at the head of your crew, right, is white men. They're called liberals. That's the key word. Liberals. That's the key word to the white male homosexual. It's called a left-wing liberal. That's how they mask it, right? So whenever you hear liberal and left-wing, nigga, you should know what's about to pull up. Little Nas X, Billy Ray Cyrus, and an all-white man. Okay? That's the G that's riding the car. And then the L would be, Angela Davis, who else? Queen Latifah, you know what I mean? A few of those sisters, and salute to them. And then in the back, there you go. That's your seat, okay? It might even be a baby chair back there. That's the B, all right? And the B is for bisexual. Yeah, Ellen DeGeneres. Yeah. And then the B, that's you, Malik. Malik Yoga. In the back, you could do some yoga. And that's the B for bisexual. That's where you fit. Okay? So whatever ladies are comfortable with you double dipping, then there you go. There you go. And right next to you, right? Because the B's in the back, they riding with Bay. And who's Bay? Bay is the T. And T is the who? T is the person from the Orange is the New Black. T is for tranny. That's the T. That's your boo. That's who you sip tea with, my guy. That's not really a lady, though. Last time I checked. You know what I mean? They got man parts. They got man parts. And even if you giving, nigga, you're giving it to a man. And if you taking it, you're taking it from a man. Okay? That's a nigga who shaves. I don't give a fuck what you talking about. Okay? That's a nigga who, when he gets mad at you, that deep voice comes out. That's Barry White at night. That's just a greedy nigga. That's all it is. It's a greedy ass Negro who want to be everybody at once. Okay? That's the T sitting right next to you. You're the B and that's the T. Let's clean this nigga up and get his mind right because the mental health issues are at an all-time high and he's the poster child for that shit right now with that bullshit that he's trying to get by regular people who know how to think straight. You're insulting my intelligence, Malik Yoga. Lee Daniels be giving these niggas some fruit punch and they just go crazy. First it was Juicy Smollett. Now it's Malik Yoga. What's going on with Lee Daniels? I'm blaming him. I'm blaming him. He's the problem. Cause everybody on Empire has they fucking look at my face when I'm thinking about Malik Yoga. That nigga has me on permanent pause. I don't even want to talk about him too much. Yeah, first it was Juicy Smollett. Now it's Malik Yoga coming off of Empire. Do niggas from Power give you these problems? No. I don't hear no scandals about people from Power. You know what I mean? The only one that's out there is Lala. Everybody else seems to have their head on their shoulders. But these niggas from Empire are problems. The whole cast. The whole damn cast. I'm on permanent pause. You know what I'm saying? YouTube knew what was up. They put me on permanent pause because they knew that I was about to talk about Malik Yoga. The whole cast is suspect. There's something wrong with them. There's something in the water over there at Empire. This nigga is out of his mind. He's out of his mind. Somebody has to stop him. Shit. So, Malik, the freak, is on some shit. Stronger than K2. He's on some shit. He just want to be down so much. He's just such a clout chaser that he just saying some real stupid shit. Okay? I don't want no nigga in a wig winking at me. Okay? We're gonna wrestle. Right? I'm not having it. I don't want to pull up at nobody at the bar and I'm thinking, I see the back turn, right? I'm like, okay, let me shoot my shot. You know, she got the algae hairdo, you know what I mean? She got the little mermaid weave in there, the blue and green shit. I heard about those chicks. Let me go ahead and get my Meg the Stallion on, and I tap on the shoulder, turn around as Greg the Stallion. And what are you telling me? I'm supposed to be cool with that? They got niggas with weaves with beards and whatnot. Beard gang with long weaves. Am I cool with that? Is that the norm? I said it on the last show. Nigga, there's a surplus of single women in these streets. So you mean to tell me you're gonna skip past the surplus to go fuck with a sir? No, sir. You know what I'm saying? Not today, Satan. Nigga, that's demonic. Niggas got full Rick Ross beards and beat faces. Okay? With fucking lace fronts. And you mean to tell me that that's not a mental health issue? Huh? And Malik is checking for that? Huh? I'm gonna hit you with a Dick Gregory. Huh? This is insanity, y'all. This shit crazy. This shit crazy. Them niggas are greedy. These niggas want everything. They want to be a beat faced woman. They want to be a fucking Barbie and a Ken at the same time. They want to be a Barbie, a Cardi, and a Ken. These niggas are Anakin. Like it's just satanic to me. That's the Illuminati, if you ask me. So y'all should save yourselves the satisfaction of not getting yourself into some deep shit. Pause. And don't ever in your life go that route. Don't listen to Lee Daniels, Oprah, Serena, everybody to be what's her name? Gabrielle. Nobody co-signing that sick shit. Don't fall for it. Okay? Do not fall for it. People is impressionable out here. Talk to your children. Fuck all of that politically correct shit. Talk to your fucking children before you lose them into this goddamn whirlpool of this cesspool of fuckery. Shit. This ain't it. This is not it. These kids going away to college, they coming home turned out with no grippers, fucked up in the game because they went ahead following trends, and that trend is a dangerous ass trend. Them people is out there spreading real diseases. That's a fact. Okay? That's a fact. And I'm mostly speaking about these men. Playing in excrement and playing in doodoo is not the way to fucking go when health is wealth. Bottom line, that's opposite of everything. I know how cute that shit is to the ladies and everything. Niggas is walking around with the Adam West eyebrows and the motherfucking beat faces and all of this crazy shit. But to be honest with you, when I see y'all laughing and y'all see y'all accepting that, that's basically just accepting the black men being broken. That's basically accepting broken manhood. That's basically accepting a motherfucker snapped in half. Okay? And that's not what's up. I mean, shit. We ain't with that. We not with that. And I know I'm that's just my stance. That's just my stance. I know that's some people's best friends, and to each his own. To each his own. Yo, if I was a Christian, I would probably firebomb a fucking, like, I would be so insulted if I were Christian. I would be humongously insulted by the shit that's going on in these churches and the shit that's going down. Like, who, what fucking, when did they pass an amendment? When did they rewrite the Bible and tell you niggas to flood the churches with all of this fuckery? If I was a Christian, I would be like, you niggas is insulting my intelligence. I pulled up on a happy Sunday trying to find me a wife. You niggas got motherfucking Greg the Stallion, you know what I mean, as the choir boy. How is that? The minute you open the Bible, it tells you that shit is not halal. I would be offended. Talking about, and then they sending around donations. For what? Sex changes? What am I paying for? Because you niggas did not build the other wing of the building that you promised my great-great-grandmother that you was gonna build. All I'm seeing is niggas up in this bitch with sexual operations. So, you know, the motherfucking deacon's wife got a Dominican Republic body. You know what I mean? The motherfucking pastor, he done got a sex change. He's like the nigga, the directors of the Matrix. You know what I mean? On the first Matrix, it was two brothers, and on the fourth Matrix, it's two sisters. What am I paying for? You should just pass the plate around. You should pass the Barbie plate around, because I'm paying for the barbs. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all letting that shit fly? Y'all letting that shit fly? To whereas there's hundreds of thousands of cases of pedophilia and sexual child abuse inside the churches. And then when you see the remnants of that, nobody is questioning anything. Where do you think those people came from? They just put a report out this week that said that there's no such thing in science whatsoever as the gay gene. There's nobody born gay. That's a fucking myth. That's a lie. And it was proven by science. If you don't believe me, go and look it up. So all of that shit, oh, they was born like this. Lady Gaga got to change the song, Born This Way. Nobody's born like anything, okay? It's all society. It's all impressionable. It's all through genetics. Through the GMO. It's all through chromosome. It's all through gene bending, things like that that's in the food, that's in the baby bottles. They have a report, though. They got a report to say that you can't be born like that, but they do got a report to say that the plastic, those baby bottles that we was heating up in the microwave and putting in pots, those have gender bending chemicals all up in them. BPA. That's what was proven. That's what was proven. Nothing else was proven but the fact that they have gender bending chemicals in the food and in the plastics, the spoons that we eat, the bowls that we were eating from. All of that food, when you put the Gerber in a microwave and you heat it up in the baby bowl, or when you heat it up in a plastic bottle, those plastic bottles have gender bending fucking chemicals in them, and that was affecting the children. The majority of the paint in the walls of the NYCHA, which is the New York Housing Authority. Q Butter put me onto this. The majority of the housing in the housing projects have lead in them. The paint has lead in them. Okay? What year was that plastic introduced? You got to do the research on that. I'm assuming around the same year that the Teletubbies came out. Okay? Around the same year that the Teletubbies came out. You have young, impressionable children watching Ricky Lake, watching the talk shows, watching Jerry Springer, watching all of these shows where they were being indoctrinated with a lot of crazy shit that people such as myself, we were teenagers at that point. We used to laugh. We were young adults. We used to laugh at what we were seeing, because we knew that it was blown out of proportion and none of this shit was real. Unfortunately, the 3-year-olds and the 4 and the 5 and the 6 and the 7 and the 8 and the 9 and the 10-year-olds who were sitting at home watching this stuff, this debauchery, they were taking this shit to be law. The same way that many of us watch satire movie or satirical movies such as Don't Drink Your Gin and Juice in South Central, like CB4, and then niggas mimic that, like Boondocks with the chicken episode, the Popeye's chicken episode, where bad art became life. We watch satire movies, we watch satire like talk shows, and then you saw our people who are impressionable begin to mimic that in real fucking life. To whereas you could go and you niggas was watching 106 in Park, 106 in Park, the top 10 countdown with Batman and all of them. Shout out to Omarion. That's my mans. That's my peoples like that. But the B2K and some of that other shit that was being introduced, that played a part in it as well too. Okay? And that's not on him. That's Chris Stokes and them. That was the management. They was trying to parade the young gods in them out there looking crazy, immature. You know what I mean? A lot of that stuff. Okay? This is called social engineering. This is called social programming. Many of y'all are too young to even understand what I'm talking about, but I'm speaking to you from a point because even in the 70s, nigga, you had niggas wearing feathers. You had the village people and other people like that. You had the rappers, the early 80 rappers, they was looking crazy, wearing nut huggers and whatnot. To this day. To this day. So it's all engineering. It's all they're interjecting all kind of programming into the mainstream. Our people are impressionable, especially individuals who are receiving these TV shows and seeing these images, and they live in cities where that's all they get. That they shape and mold their images after what they see on cable. They live in Boise, Idaho. Niggas live around Mad Pecker Woods. They don't have no identity. They receive their identity from the movies and from music and from TV and from fan magazines like Rap Pages and all of that. And Source Magazine and Vibe Magazine. I traveled around the world since I was young. Me and Blue Pill, we ran up and down I-95. I used to go in quiet towns. I seen the makeup of how these shits run. You know what I mean? I seen how the I seen the whole shit terraform over the years. I've seen the influence when we used to go to the malls and whatnot. I saw how certain clothes were introduced and certain brands were introduced and how that shit used to work out. You know? Somebody said, "What's a real man?" Why don't you tell me? Since you asking rhetorical questions, how the hell what's a real man? Nigga, if you gotta ask what's a real man, you're not a real man. And that's sad. And don't give me the fucking Janelle Monáe version of a real man either. Somebody said, how do real men dress? Nigga, are you sitting back typing that stuff with a lace front with your face beat and a motherfucking full beard? Or are you, who are you? It's shaky. It's not shaky how a real man dress. With a fucking t-shirt and some jeans, bro. Like, what are you talking about? How does a real man dress? With some fucking sneakers and a pair of jeans or some shorts and a regular t-shirt. Like, how do you dress? You don't dress. A real man don't dress with the Little Nas X pants with his butt out. A real man don't dress with with some jeggings on. A real man don't dress with women's clothes on. A real man doesn't dress with some fucking see-through shit on. Like, that's not real men dress. That's androgynous. That's somebody who is bending the genders and experimenting. That's how, that's not real man dress. Because that kind of rhetoric that this real man, what's a real man, all of that is that's that black Twitter moist, that's coming out the moist section of black Twitter, where they're trying to, what is a real man and what is real men and what's the definition of a man and who gets to define it. Bruh, before you niggas came along trying to interrupt the natural progression of manhood, we were comfortable, we were cool. You know what I'm saying? But that's not even, you know what I mean? Going back to what I was saying on episodes before, that argument or those questions are not even African centered. These are talking points that have been trickled down from the top of the liberal pyramid or the liberal pecking order or the quote unquote left wing. And when they say liberal, they're speaking about Jewish men. All right. Most of the time when you hear liberal, that's referring to older or younger Jewish men. And we know, and we're not, we know from our research when it comes to Jewish men and their sexual deviancy, it's been noted throughout history, throughout time immoral, that these people were being chased out of country after country after country after country because of their deviant ways sexually, not just homosexuality. We're talking bestiality, we're talking blood libel. Basically a lot of children will come up missing. We're talking pedophilia. Okay, we're talking about cross-dressing and all of these other things. So y'all living through their lens. Y'all living through their lens. And last time I checked, none of them are my master teachers. None of them are the authors. None of them are the foundation that we stand on. That's not them. The people who we follow, the people who taught us, the people who helped save our lives, those are names that are recognizable, and each one of their works speaks and points to being pro-life, African-centered, about the family, the nuclear family, or what you call the not even the nuclear family, because that's when shit started going wrong. No, we're talking about the Holy Trinity, the man, the woman, and the child. We're talking about Osset, Osar, and Heru. Okay, that's what they champion. Nothing else. I don't need nothing else. I'm not trying to. I'm not done with that. Niggas is not bored with that yet. There's a surplus of women out here, so there's nothing to talk about. You know what I'm saying? There's a surplus of the divine feminine. So what do they need? They need an energy that's going to be compatible with them, the divine masculine. All right? And the numbers of the divine masculine seem to be getting shorter every day. So ladies, catch up. You know what I mean? Get it while it lasts. You know what I'm saying? Get it while it lasts. Because that shit is leaving this planet like the motherfucking bumblebees. You know what I mean? Niggas is dropping at a fast pace. Endangered species. You're looking at them. Okay? This is research. I'm telling you, the top of that pyramid that all of these people are getting talking points from the feminist all the way down to the black LBGT, black Twitter crowd, that their talking points are coming from the liberals. And the liberals are either the white Anglo-Saxon Protestants and the people who are comfortably in bed with them, their right-hand mans in them, the Ashkenazi small hats. You already know this. Let's stop playing like we in romper room. Like we should be on plus degrees at this point. This shit was explained by many of our teachers. And we know that their number one kryptonite on this planet, in any room that you pop up in, the kryptonite to this whole system, the kryptonite to all of these people that I just named, the kryptonite is a heterosexual black man who lets his nuts hang. That's the kryptonite. That's the one they'll leave the black woman in the room. They'll leave Little Nas X in the room. You understand? But the one who needs to get out that room, who's the kryptonite, he's the 800-pound gorilla that makes all of these fuck niggas uncomfortable, is a motherfucker who lets his nuts hang. That's the problem. That's who they don't want around. That's what they're trying to destroy. That's what they're trying to basically break. Okay? That's the motherfucking germ. That's the superior germ running around fucking up all of their programs. Like how, you know how Scooby-Doo, when they pull the motherfucking mask off, they pull the mask off for the culprit. Nigga's a nigga. You know what I'm saying? Oh, he was all along. There he goes. I said it before. You go in any one of their place, any one of their spaces and whatnot, and you take off your shirt and you start flexing. Not on no Terry Crews shit, my niggas. Pause. You just start flexing. You know what I mean? You start letting that melanin move around. You know what I mean? You just start, you don't even gotta flex. Don't even say nothing. Just walk in there like Denzel, my niggas. You know what I'm talking about? With a certain kind of air about yourself. Where you not standing pigeon-toed. Where you niggas is not knock-kneed. Where you niggas is not scrolling in there on your cow, on your horses and whatnot. You just walk up in that shit like a real man. You gonna shake the building. You gonna shake the building. The Beckys get excited. You know what I'm saying? They start choosing. You know, the sisters, they let out a sigh of relief. Oh, real niggas in the building. Hold on. You know, like they city girls and whatnot. They start popping on a handstand. You know what I'm talking about? And the white boys, they get uncomfortable. They like, oh fuck, here these guys go to take the party. You know, they just gonna start dancing and shit and just take all the ladies from us. And then the people who ain't into, you know, the deviants, they like, you know, they feel threatened because all eyes on you. All eyes on you. You was ever in a spot and a nigga came in with a beat face and a motherfucking lace front with a Rick Ross beard and he took all of the attention out the room? Well, goddamn it. If that happened to you, you need to jump out the window. You shouldn't even have been in that place. You shouldn't have been there. So you are the threat. You're the kryptonite. You're the only thing stopping Sodom and Gomorrah or Babylon from forming. You are the one who, you're the last motherfucking Boy Scout. You the last Boy Scout, and they all want to break your back. Brokeback Mountain. Everybody wants to break your back in two. That's a fact. Scientific studies have shown that, nigga, you the op. And everything that they're putting out there, from the chemtrails to the GMO to the fluoride in the water, okay, to the fake meat, to the impossible burgers, to the goddamn drugs, the synthetic drugs, the Molly, the X, the MDNA, all of these things are being manufactured Tel Aviv, Eastern Europe. All of these things are silent weapons to destroy your genetic makeup. You inside of your scrotum. You, black man, that's who they want to destroy. You are Superman and Kryptonite at the same damn time. Don't ever forget that. You could forget everything that I've ever said. Just hold on to that nugget right there, and you'll be able to navigate through a room full of vultures. Because the nigga Jay-Z said he know how to move through a room full of vultures. Nigga, where? When? Talk back to me. Show me evidence. Okay? Because it looked like the vultures done got to you. It looked like the vultures done got to you. That nigga can't even be Sean Carter in the room no more. I don't know who that is. He can't be. I ain't seen him around white people on some jigger shit. He ain't been jigger. He ain't been Jehovah around these white folk. Where? I want to see Casanova 2 times. I want to see Meek Memphis Bleak. I want to see how all these niggas act around Roger Goodell and white folk. I want to see Meek Mill around Roger Kraft. You know what I mean? You Superman and you the kryptonite at the same damn time. Hold on to that. Do the knowledge on that. Go read the ISIS papers. Meditate on that. And then you'll realize why the whole fucking world hates you. Okay? Then you'll know why the whole world despises you, from the Mongolian all the way to the Turks. The Turks are the Ottomans, the Arab. The Mongolian is the Asians, the Chinaman, the Japanese in them. Why do they low-key despise you? Okay? Even down to the quote-unquote, even the African from the continent. Why do they despise you? Why do they hate you? Low-key. They'll smile in your face. Nigga, they'll shake your hand. Lex Luger did the same thing to Clark Kent. Lex Luger was real chummy with Clark Kent, but he was trying to get rid of that nigga at the same time. He wouldn't leave Clark Kent in the room with his lady. He wasn't that dumb. They'll key with you all day. They not leaving. You know, you could chill with Juan Valdez, but he's not going to the store and leave you with Isabella or Maribel. You know what I'm saying? They don't want you around their ladies because you are the kryptonite and you are the Superman at the same. You are Hiram Abiff. You are the African god that they put into a shallow grave. That shallow grave is your amnesia. Your amnesia is the fact that you niggas don't know who the fuck you are. Man, know thyself. They carved it on the walls. You should have it on your face tat, my niggas. Okay? You should have it on your face, tatted on your face permanently. Man, know thyself. That only translates to find out who the fuck you was before you got put into a shallow grave, before they knocked you upside your head and put you into amnesia. Simple. Once you find out who you are from a molecular level, all the way up to your physicality, all the way up to a cultural aspect or an aesthetic, then, you know, you'll be able to move through this thing more comfortably. You'll be able, yeah, my screen is frozen on everybody's phone. Don't worry about it. It's a permanent pause. You'll be able to move through this whole thing untouched. It will add a level of confidence, not arrogance, because arrogance ain't winning no wars. You niggas don't even have the right to be arrogant at this point. There's no arrogance. You need confidence. You need confidence. You need to be confident in your powers. You need to be confident in your DNA. It's already inside of you. It's locked into you. You come pre-packaged already. It's already built in, my nigga. You are the fire stick. Everything that you need is on that stick. So the key is to unlock it, and the key is to tap into it. And once you unlock it and once you tap into it, you utilize it to lift yourself up. Once you lift yourself up, you lift those around you up. Once you lift those around you up and y'all all are standing on your feet outside of a shallow grave, then you begin to build. It's simple like that. What do they do once they find out that you woke up out of your shallow grave? They do everything in their powers to push you back into that shallow grave. What is that shallow grave? That shallow grave would be imprisonment, incarceration. That shallow grave would be drug abuse. That shallow grave would be poverty. That shallow grave would be, compromising your manhood. That shallow grave would be, hooking you up with people who are not necessarily in your rightful favor. They won't basically be there for you to empower you culturally. There's many shallow graves, but they do everything in their power to push you back into the shallow grave once you put the world on alert that you have awakened and you're outside of that grave. They did it to the Panthers. They pushed them back into the grave, solitary confinement, behavior modification, 44 years in a box. They gave them hundreds of years. The MOVE organization, Mumia Abu Jamal, Asada Shakur's on a run. They're trying to put her in a shallow grave. Come on. I could go on for days. Malcolm X, when he stood up and he went around the world and he alerted the world. He just down he was bodying them in Oxford in the debates. He was bodying them in Harvard in the debates. He was telling Mike Wallace and all of them on TV that he was not in a shallow grave anymore. He had the audacity and the gall to stand up. Muhammad Ali coming out of Cassius Clay. He had the audacity and the mitigated gall to stand up and tell the white world that he is no longer in a shallow grave. What did they do? They did everything in their power to push him back into a shallow grave. They took his title from him. They put him in jail. They defamed him. They talked bad about him. They made fun of him. They utilized their media to try to crush him. He kept fighting back. He kept bouncing back. He went and fought fights. He lost fights and won fights. They put his ass back in the grave by giving him the disease that had his ass shaken. It was proven that he did not get that naturally from headshots. It's niggas in the motherfucking boxing world that got mad headshots. You don't see none of them going through that. So stand up. You know what I mean? Stand up. Because even if they try to push you back in a shallow grave, at least you know what it felt like to stand up, if not for one day. If not for one day. A coward dies 1,000 deaths. You niggas is not tired of dying? You know what I'm saying? The knuckle draggers is dead. The zombies are dead. Niggas walking around these streets that don't have no idea who they are, they're dead. They're dying thousands of deaths. There's funerals on my timeline every day of people who died 1,000 deaths, dying nameless, dying over sneakers, dying over $5 crack rocks. You want to live like that? That's living? You're going to come back as a fucking pigeon. You're going to reincarnate. You didn't fulfill your purpose. You're not going to reincarnate. They're not going to give you another chance. You're going to reincarnate as a damn baby in Yemen getting bombed and whatnot. That's how that shit works. You're not living out your purpose. People are coming from royal DNA bloodlines. Look, just imagine for those of us who are in this community who find out through either DNA or through reawakening how powerful our bloodlines are, the richness of the bloodlines that we come from. Imagine the people who don't figure it out. Imagine those who don't figure it out, who just die, unfulfilled or not even knowing thyself. It's a tragedy. It really is. So we're going to end this with the Nicki Minaj news. So Nicki Minaj puts out a tweet today, says that she's retiring from rap and she wants to start a family. Okay? So many people are heavily upset. I might have some Barbies that are listening to the show right now. I won't be able to console you, but, just be comfortable, sit back. I'm finna cook your sister, and, hopefully you'll find somebody else to follow. But, this news, you know, is very interesting. I could look at it many ways. One of the ways that I could look at it as is thank God, praise Jesus, Black Tyrone Jesus, Pimp God Sherrod, and all of the other deities out there. Because now these fucking Barbies that are running around with these colorful wigs and whatnot, they could have, hopefully she could save at least three of them, and they can say to themselves, you know what, now we could go ahead and follow her lead and go ahead and just start a family, because there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? You go find you a boo or a bae and you get it going. Okay? You're not running around trying to have hot girl winters, hot girl autumns. You know what I mean? You're not trying to menage with everything, because even she said on her Queen radio show that she never had a menage. This is not Red Pill saying this. This is Nicki Minaj. She did a show with Trina. Trina said she only had one menage, and Nicki Minaj said, "Oh, I've never." I'm like, you just like 50 Cent, who did songs about selling drugs and smoking them. That nigga never had a drink. He just recently smoked a blunt with Snoop Dogg and lost his damn head. So that's extreme false advertisement. That's extreme false advertisement. Like, how dare you steer so many impressionable young women in a direction where they were out there putting their lives at risk, their bodies at risk, their health at risk, all kind of their innocence, losing it to try to keep up with you. You never even you didn't even taste the you didn't even participate. That's false advertising. You false flagging. So then another side of me says, damn, Meg Thee Stallion must have really bodied her on that verse, because here it goes. Cardi B is out here. She had a family. You know what I mean? She done started a family. What the fuck? She didn't stop rapping. She leveraged that to make more money. You know? So I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. I mean, you know, I can't necessarily say that she was doing anything that empowering in her lyrics for black women, so to say. You know, a lot of her recent lyrics was talking about her box. You know what I mean? I think her whole career was about that. And of course, you know, pills and potions and shit like that. But, you know, yeah, on her early rap career, she was talking about being a lesbian. And she said she wasn't really real about that either. You know, she started the whole plastic body trend, or she popularized it. She did the whole, you know, she's a Barbie. She's a she's a plastic body. You know what I mean? And these young girls, she spawned a whole fucking generation of Barbie dolls. There's Cuban doll, there's Asian doll, there's Cash doll, there's who's the other doll? There's all of these dolls, and we know that dolls basically get used and thrown away because you don't keep your dolls, right? You play with a doll and then you discard the doll. So now now the comeback for the dolls is to do the Meg Thee Stallion shit. So now instead of being thrown away, they're like, we throwing niggas away, because that's the rebuttal to that. That's the quote unquote mutation of what it is that she started out with, because she wasn't necessarily coming with that. Okay? So she came out, and then Amber Rose rises up, the Black China's rise up. So these is, here it is. She's cosplaying a hoe. She's basically, you know, she's faking hoe, you know, faking to be like a stripper, faking to be like a sex worker. But then the real sex workers came in the game through Kim Kardashian. Kim Kardashian is on IMD as a porn star. They have her on IMD. That's the database for actresses and actors. She got mad TV shows, but on IMD, her claim to fame is a porn star. Her porn tape at the end of every single year is at the top of Pornhub. Okay? So her shit been trending ever since it dropped. So she's on IMD as a porn star. Black China, Amber Rose. So that's the bridge that you see. Then they gave birth to the Cardi B's. Cause now you got real hoes in the game rapping about hoeing. And they really doing it. Cause niggas is like, I got pictures with Cardi and Suze. I got pictures with Cardi in the Boom Boom Room. I got Cardi on Instagram saying what she was getting down doing. So now these young impressionable girls are going through this cycle to where they're seeing women act like it, but now they're being introduced to women that are really about that life, to women or really about that life, to now they are about that life and now they want to become rappers. Do you see the trajectory that we're going in? And nobody, it seems, has a problem with that because this whole sexual liberation culture is being quote unquote celebrated at the same time that Me Too is being pushed out there. So it's almost like a contradictory, it's a hypocritical contradiction in your face. Yeah, her services are no longer needed. So Nicki Minaj's services are no longer needed because the mutation has already taken place. She's been pushed out of the game by real hoes. You do understand? She can't fight. She's like, yo, I don't have no more fight in me. The hoes are winning. And the last shot was the motherfucking Hot Girl Summer video. She got out twerked. Talk black to me. She got out twerked by Meg, the motherfucking stallion. So the hoes are winning and she can't keep up with it. She could not keep up with it because that's not her life. So what did she did? She gracefully bowed out and said, I'm gonna go make a family with this criminal ass nigga that I done got out of jail. Had the nerve to talk shit about Cardi B and Offset, but she married down. At least Meg got my nigga Yo Money Bag Yo. Look, who's having a better week, Meek Mill or Nicki Minaj? Talk black to me. Who's having the best week ever? Who won that war? She married down. How dare you? How dare you let down your barbs? And you go fuck with the help? We don't do that. We don't fuck with the help. Yeah, Mika's winning. Let's talk. Let's be honest. That nigga just did the intro at the NFL at the same day that his old boo retired with her motherfucking jailbird. That ain't sexy. That you what kind of signal is you sending to all of these chicks running around with colorful wigs and whatnot and long bundles? That's an L. Nigga, Queens, hold this L. You know what I'm saying? Somebody said that she loves him though. I didn't ask you about what she loved. Niggas love Popeye chicken. Like, what's the difference? Nobody's talking about that. We're talking about how you finish the race. It's not how you start it, man. It's how you finish it. All that tough talk go down the drain. So, you know, it is what it is. You know, it is what it is. Shout out to all of the real sisters out there spitting them bars. Cyrock album is going to be a problem when it drops. Shout out to Soleil. Shout out to Rhapsody. You know, and I'm not being petty and picking sides. I'm saying that I'm about my act. You know I'm ratchet as hell. You know what I'm saying? I'm pro twerkage because I think that that helps move the blood through the body. You know what I mean? It's part of health. It's a health initiative to move the muscles. But I'm also about women who are very, very intelligent and beautiful and very sure of themselves at the same time. I love that. I love a Lauryn Hill. I love a Erica Badu. You know what I'm saying? I love that kind of, I love that cloth, that because I have a mother who I look up to, and from a young age, I looked up to powerful women, and I know what that energy is about. I know that energy is cosmic. I know that that energy is the energy that has been basically subdued and subordinated and kind of held. And I know that that energy is also a kryptonite energy. Okay? That is definitely a kryptonite energy. So these women with that kind of energy are needed because these women who are out here hurting, they need healing and they need help. And these babies who are coming up, who are star seeds and indigos, who should be having their minds on some kind of world domination, it's not going to come through being sex workers, and it's not going to come through letting your white supremacists and the people who have declared war against us and are basically, you know, fetishing over these women. It's not going to come by allowing these people into their sacred spaces, because they used to try to get through us to get to them. Now they don't even have to worry. They're stepping over our bodies and they're getting to our most prized treasures, and that is our women. And the messages that Cardi and the rest of these sex workers are putting out there, they're not giving people no kind of restrictions. It's about, if you could pay for it, if you can afford it, then you can have it. And that is very dangerous that is an extremely dangerous mentality to have in the middle of a war. What's the war, Red Pill? There's a spiritual war, there's an economic war, there's even a soft physical war that's being levied upon melanin or melanated people on a global scale, unadulterated by different nationalities and races. And I could show you and prove it to you. Okay? So I'm an advocate for balance. I'm an advocate for balance. We're in the Kali Yuga. There's certain things that you're not going to stop. You're not going to stop the twerkage. Don't even try it. Shit gonna shake, all right? You're not going to stop that. But what you can help to encourage and what you can begin to push is some real black girl magic. I'm saying real black girl magic, okay? Black goddess magic. You could show these sisters how to be a goddess in training, all right? And it's more so about being selective. It's more so about being honest, you know, transparent. But at the same time, it's more so about being very empowering, you know, through empowering your sisters. Because to be honest with you, the black woman is so powerful right now, she does not have to sell what is the most sacred in order to get to the bag. All y'all got to do to get to the bag is just love on each other, sell each other some makeup or some shit. You know what I mean? Like, the bag is yours. Your numbers are enormous. Your power on the internet is enormous. We live in a click and order world. You could just be, you could open a marketplace amongst yourselves. Y'all could sell Fashion Nova to each other. You know what I'm talking about? You could sell cowrie shells to each other. You could sell hair products, face products, beauty products, clothing, apparel, baby clothes, health products, plant-based products, everything that you could think of. If you were to just make it, who's ever been to the Black Woman Expo? Talk black to me. Who's ever been to the Black Woman fucking I just came from We Buy Black in Atlanta, and the majority of the vendors were black women. The majority of the vendors who had their shit together and upstairs were black women. And the products, the presentation, the packaging, everything was put together, and none of them was selling sex. Okay? That does not have, they were selling bundles. You know what I'm saying? Let's just sell bundles to each other. You could sell eyelashes and bundles to the ladies upon ladies. You know what I mean? You don't have to negate your greatness, because once you let anybody hit, once you let anybody, because they not just hitting. I don't want to give you the ugly picture of what they doing. It ain't just regular hitting. They're ravaging these women. These women are getting shat upon. These women are getting defecated on. These women are getting all kind, because when men fetish over you, they go as far as to try to eat you. And I ain't talking about the box. They're doing very sick, satanic, sadistic stuff to these innocent, beautiful women. And once you get to a certain, it's a thin line. Once you cross over, there's no coming back. So I'm not co-signing that. I'm not co-signing that. I'm not co-signing seeing our sisters damaged and destroyed and pillaged by every fucking swinging dick that's out there who wants to destroy them, because most of these men hate you. Okay? They want to be you, and they hate you, and they don't like you. And they come under the guise of they just want to bust a nut or some crazy shit, and they're out here destroying women. So you got to protect yourself. And what is most sacred is your fucking yoni and your minds and your hearts. And if you don't protect that, this shit is going to be a sorry ass race in like 5 years. You're going to give birth to demons. Okay? You're going to give birth to demons because a lot I'm observing it. I'm on the gram. You know, I follow some of the I follow some of the biggest thoughts out there. I'm doing my social work. I see what's going on. A lot of them look like they got demons on them. A lot of them look like they got demons on. They got spiritually transmitted demons, STDs, spiritually transmitted demons. They come back from Dubai with jinns on them. They coming back from Dubai with fucking jinns on them. If you could see people's aura like I could see, you know what I'm saying? They got jinns on them. They got demons in them. So that shit has to be checked. Somebody has to do something. And I think that if women are talking real empowerment, it's talking about healing. It's talking about getting back on your goddess shit. I mean, go to the pretty pussy pool party. That's what it is, right? Go and work with some of the sisters with the yoni eggs if need be. You know, go and tap into your goddesshood if you want to keep the sensuality and the sexuality and all of that. I'm not a prude, so I'm not anti-sensual. I'm a Scorpion, so you already know what it is. I'm not against sensuality and sexuality to the highest extent. I'm with all of that. But when the shit gets loose goose and there's no brakes and there's no restrictions, and you just let truck drivers and anybody run through, and I mean they got KKK getting lucky out here. I mean, real talk. So you become part of the opposition. So, with that being said, let's try to elevate these sisters that are out here working very hard. They got to work extra hard to come up with these bars. These conscious rappers, like, the shit is not easy rhyming supercalifragilisticexpialidocious and kale salad. You know what I mean? Like, that's not easy. These other chicks that are just rhyming about, fucking the plug and the city girls. If she reads her rhymes, she sound like it hurt to read the rhymes. Real ass trick, give fuck. Like this, she not. She look like it hurts for her to even think. We're not co-signing that. Somebody said these hoes got more bodies than Freddie and Jason. You know, it's crazy. It's crazy. So the power is out there for you. It's yours. The shift has already taken place. The universe is in the hands of the divine feminine at this point. So we just gonna sit back and watch and see what happens. Because they handed y'all the keys. The keys is in your hands. Let's be clear. Let's be clear. This is a matriarchal motherfucking society at this point. The keys have been handed over. So support Cyrock, support Rhapsody, support Ty Phoenix, support, I think, Star. She might be coming back out with some bars. If Narubi Selah pop out, you know what I mean? Support her. support. There's some sisters coming out of what's the girls Oshun, the artist Oshun. Um, there's a few sisters that are out here doing their thing. If y'all know of any, say their names and I'll repeat them. Novocaine and 3D Nati. Yeah, she's fire. 3D, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it. Cindian, oh my goodness, Cindian got bars. Shout out to Cindian. I don't know where Aisha Sekhmet is. I think she dropped the Sekhmet. Nalim, what's our sisters from? What's the sister from the nation from the West Coast? What's her name? She got super bars. She's beautiful. Yeah, Cindian. I said Cindian. Cypherella, 3D Nazi. She's fire. Yeah, why don't they form a juice crew? Melanie Rains. Oh, Neelam. Sister Neelam. Omega, Cypherella. What's my girl? Yeah, Neelam is fire. What's my girl? What's my girl with the 1 minute songs? She got the 1 minute songs. She's on the cover of the XXL Freshman. She's fire. Tierra Whack. She's fire. I like Tierra. Tierra Whack is fire. Aqua Naru is fire. Mumu Fresh is dope. Yeah, I heard Mumu Fresh. Mumu Fresh got bars. You feel me? Yeah, her is dope. Oh, I love her. Her is cute too. Yeah. She is. Her is banging. Cyrock, of course. Cyrock always goes down as my favorite. Cyrock the MC. Shout out to Soul Messiah. 7. Dynasty. I don't know who Dynasty is. Lady LaShore. Lady LaShore. Yeah. So there are some hot MCs. If they want me to write for them, they should hit me on the Twitter. Oshun, Coffee. Somebody said Red Pill is kind of dope. Yeah, I'm not a female MC though. I'm not on my Malik Yoga shit. Is Coffee a battle rapper from the West Coast? Cause I seen her body something in a freestyle. You know what I mean? Shout out to all of the female battle rappers. 40 Bars, E Heart, Jazz the Rapper. You know what I'm saying? Jazz the Rapper. All of the female MCs that battle rap on URL. I rock with them. Okay, Jamaica. Who said Jamaica? A Jamaican artist? Is there? Willow Smith. Facts. Willow got. I like Lizzo. I do like Lizzo. Salute to Lizzo for hitting #1. I love to see her dreams come true. You know what I'm saying? I take pride when I see sisters' dreams come through. And Coffee is from Jamaica. Okay, Coffee is Jamaican. I didn't know that. Yeah, I thought Coffee was the battle rapper. There's a battle rapper named Coffee. Oh, she sings the song Gratitude. Blue Pill is schooling me. Oh, yeah. I thought that was Rihanna when I first heard it. Yeah, Coffee is dope. What about Spice? Y'all rocking with Spice? Steph London? I don't know about that. Go on with it. Go on with it. Go on with it. Toast. Yeah, she do sound like Rihanna. I thought that was Rihanna on on pills. But y'all get the drift though. Y'all get the drift. Everybody who's listening to this show, you have a master list for a playlist now. We should encourage Spotify. We should encourage the quote unquote Hempress Sativa. Somebody also dropped another name, Hempress Sativa. I gave you about 30 names. We could basically start a playlist of conscious, not just conscious rappers, but powerful lyricists. I don't even have to say female because that's kind of like putting them in a box. They just rappers. They're artists. They're dope artists. You know what I mean? We could begin playlists and to pressure the rap caviars or the Spotify's who take pleasure in the degradation and pushing the degradation or pushing lower frequency music. Let's put the pressure on them to begin to represent, or let's build our own streaming platforms and fuck them all. You know? Yeah, SZA's dope. I like SZA. Is Mos Def dropping something new? He more than likely would. You know? He more than likely would. Yasin is a very creative person. Somebody say Young and May. Stop playing with me, y'all. It's time to go. It's getting late. It's getting late. So I'm gonna end it on saying that Blue Pill said he don't care for SZA. Don't do that. She a Scorpion. I like her energy. You know? Yeah, we gonna be in the UK in October, y'all. Check us out. We'll be in the United Kingdom. The Pillars invasion of across the pond. Blue Pill said that that's jump off music. Well, shit, somebody got to jump off. You know what I'm saying? Somebody got to jump off. After you finish rapping about avocados and all of that, then, you know, we got to jump off. You know what I'm saying? Get through the conscious stuff and, you know, warm it up, and then we get to going. He said she makes side chick anthems. Somebody got to make an anthem for the side chicks, nigga. They need their anthems too. You know what I'm saying? They need their anthems too. I like Doja. What's her name? The girl that made Moo. Doja Cat. Yeah, I like Doja Cat is alright with me. You know. I like Doja. So I'm gonna say, Houston family, meet me on Friday, tomorrow, at the Black Market, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. And we're gonna have some Kings County in the building. All right. We're gonna have some Kings County in the building for the family. I need y'all to pull up. Okay. And yeah, we coming to Birmingham in October. We coming to the hood. You know what I mean? We're gonna come there to talk about all of those stabbings and those killings of the black youth in the UK. We're gonna speak some sense into that because I've been told that they're being influenced by the drillers in Chicago, the killers, the gang scene. Everybody is gang banging in the UK now. So we'll be over there doing the good work. So please come through and show us some respect, show us some support, you know, spread the word to the Mandem in it over in the UK. All right. Yeah, so pull up, you know what I mean? Pull up in Houston. We might be doing a pop-up with Pop Darby, so look out for that. I'll let the family know on my Instagram and on YouTube as well when we do the pop-up. But I definitely have to have, I need the family to see a shifter in action, one of my shifter brothers in action. We will be in Washington, D.C. as well in October, the return of the shifters at the Union Baptist Church. All right. I believe that's the second weekend of October. 19 Keys, Derek Grace, Rizza Islam, Brother Ben X, Red and Blue Pill, Billionaire, P.A., Pop Darby. You dig? So that's going to be a movie. All right. Shout out to my sister Ajna. She's doing her retreat in Orlando at the end of September. She's going to be doing big things. October 19th is when we're coming to DMV. So get your tickets for that. go on the Shifters page on Instagram or go to 19 Keys page. He has information about that. Okay. Sign up to facts2020.org. Sign up to KTLUniversity.com. Shop at kingscounty.bigcartel.com. And also donate and gift to the Cash App. As you can see, there is no super chat. We never get a check. We don't get no checks from YouTube. This ain't about YouTube checks. We don't do it for the YouTube check. Ever since I had my page from 2000 and whatever 8, I've never got a YouTube check because it's not about that. It's about giving out the information, giving out the food for thought, and also sharing the lifestyle and bringing upon multiple people to share their journey and their quote unquote come up with the family in real time. So with that being said, make sure you hit that Cash App up, money sign, PhilMoreland, because that's what we need. More land. Okay, so we can make things really change for the better. So PhilMoreland. Also the Patreon /Red Pillar. Shout out to all of my Patreons. REDPILLAR. I got a special treat for y'all coming in a few weeks. We have an exclusive lecture, Facts 2020 presentation, and also the Conscious Industry 2.0 or the Conscious Industry 2020. We're going to be doing that exclusively for our Patreons. And and we also have Into Deep 2.2 and American Gods. We're about to upload that to the Patreons exclusively. All right. So with that being said, love and light to the family. Peace and love. I'll catch you on Melanin Mondays. We'll give you an update about our weekend in the South, our weekend in Texas and whatnot. We'll let you know what went down, and we'll be covering the information. And if you want Into Deep 2.2 or American Gods or Into Deep Part 1, hit me on the Cash App, $20 in your email, and I got that video on demand through the email. We'll send it to you right away so you can watch it on your phone or your tablet or your laptop. Love and light to the family. Y'all stay blessed. Y'all stay bliss. Y'all stay safe. Y'all stay dangerous. Y'all stay focused. One.